Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Well, What'd You Think? And this is our show, Well, Wanna Fight About It, where we fight about movies that we love. And right here, there's no bad ideas, just bad arguments.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. It's true. That's a good tag. Yeah, you did go. That's a good tag. Good tag.
Yeah, so today here are our contestants.
How's it going, guys? Me, Amir.
Owen or Toad, whichever one you'd like.
And it's Omid. What's going on, guys?
Let me tell you guys, I can already tell this is probably going to be the best episode because I know these guys. Like, if you don't know these guys, they're very loud and very passionate about what they like.
Loud and stupid.
Yeah, they'll fight for what they believe in.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be in for a treat. But today our questions consist of, so with Uncharted coming out, we wanted to know what Nintendo game should get a franchise of their own. And the next question is, what musician or band should get a biopic made of them?
Mm-hmm.
And then, what's the best CGI character? And what movie should get the Snyder cut treatment?
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
And then the last question is, cast the next James Bond and pitch me their first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's just start things off with what Nintendo character or game should get their own franchise? Starting with Amir.
All right, cool. So this is a great question. We just got Sonic, we got Pikachu. We're getting pretty good video game movies. Uncharted sucked ass, though. So what I'm doing is I wanted to build a movie franchise off of one of my favorite Nintendo properties. I'm going Punch-Out. I think Punch-Out could be super fucking cool because you have such an endearing character. You have Little Mac, but you also have an awesome roster of villains. We have like Glass Joe, King Hippo, Sandman. We're gonna have all these awesome characters, and we're gonna fix the franchise and make sure that the characters aren't fucking racist. But yeah, I'm going with Punch-Out as my movie franchise.
All right, Owen, what's your pick?
Cool choice. I enjoy the choice. I think I'm gonna go for more of a darker tone to Nintendo movie. I feel like all the Nintendo stuff is really light-hearted. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for a horror movie. I'm gonna go for a horror movie starring Boo. We're gonna get a what was that found footage from film we got? Paranormal Activity. We're gonna get a Paranormal Activity style movie with Boo as the main antagonist. We're gonna have a family of toads move into this new home, wondering what's going on. Why is everything all creepy? Why is everything weird? Why is things moving? When I turn around, everything just stops.
Okay.
We're gonna get a really cool Boo movie. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be horrifying. It's gonna be an animated horror film, so it's gonna be really bloody and gory. It's gonna be awesome. Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's a good pick. It's a good pick. I like both of you guys' picks, and I went more. I think for Nintendo, they're not really known for essentially like their badass female characters, except for one. They're known for Samus Aran, Metroid. We're making a Metroid movie, ladies and gentlemen. So the way I pitch it is this: we kind of want, like Owen said, we want to go kind of different. So we'll make it a live action. We're gonna make it a live action Metroid movie, and we're gonna have it as a PG-13, more of an action sci-fi movie along the lines like a Halo or like a kind of like a Star Wars, Star Trek kind of thing. And we're gonna focus mainly on Samus, and we're gonna have Ridley being the main villain. And I think we're gonna have a lot of cool fun with that. Like, just with Master Chief, the Halo series coming out, I think we can have a really awesome. Like, I'm just thinking about the suit right now. Like, Samus' suit can look so awesome. And I think for you, Amir, I think like you did say, Punch-Out is racist. It has a problematic history. And I think when you were naming the characters, you had a hard time naming any iconic characters that aren't racist, and that's the big problem. I think this. Glass Joe, King Hippo, Macho Man. He's a great character. Yeah, but that's also offensive to Californians because that's what he is.
Oh my!
He's Mr. Hollywood. He's essentially tanned out as hell, 70-year-old buck.
No, it is a little offensive.
It is offensive. Me being a Californian, I find that offensive. There's a lot of offensive stereotypes in Punch-Out, so I think it's going to be really hard to be able to step away from the racist outings of Punch-Out. And for you picked a character that has no lines. Both of your characters don't ever talk.
That's true.
No, that means we have the most freedom.
Yeah.
Yours is a great idea.
Samus
Aran really cool, but you guys both fucked up. You guys are making kids movies. It had to be for everyone. The whole family.
He gave a bloody. Yeah, no. I pitched a fun action movie like a Godzilla or like a Pacific Rim. Can you imagine that?
Yours is the most likely to fail because you have so much source material. You have so much you're going to be bound by it. We just saw
and so much potential too.
So with that logic, Detective Pikachu was bound by Pokemon, and they gave us a good story.
Hey, okay, let's keep it on track. You guys are so. Amir, tell me about Punch-Out. Why Punch-Out? What sets this apart from the Rocky franchise, Creed franchise,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So
taking my point straight from him.
The reason why I wanted to go with Punch-Out is because Lomac he's essentially a blank template, so we can build a whole new character, and we can. I was being inspired very much by Rocky and by Creed, because there's a great emotional connection with Doc Lewis and Little Mac. And I want to build up that relationship where I want essentially like a tournament arc boxing movie. You get to see all these awesome matches. You get to see him fighting Disco Kid, fighting Don Flamingo, fighting Great Tiger, all these
Great
awesome...
Tiger's problematic.
Yeah, but we'll fix it. We'll make it culturally appropriate. We can fix it. We can be better than the past. But I think we have so many awesome characters. I think the problem with your guys' movies is you're not respecting the source material enough. You're making an R-rated horror movie.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo. And you, awesome, Samus Aran, I love that character, but guess what? Metroid Prime 4 is in development hell. Your movie's going to be in development hell. We're never going to see your movie. Punch-Out, not a lot of people know about it, but you can essentially make a movie and say, oh, wow, that was awesome. I never read Punch-Out, now I'm going to get the game. They're not going to want to buy Metroid after watching your movie because you made a shit
Who's
movie.
it with that? You're saying buy the game, all the games are racist as hell, so they're not going to have them go back.
You got to find your point. Look, let me speak on Punch-Out. I'm not going to watch a boxing movie about Little Mac when I have Rocky and Creed. That's exactly what
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You didn't set anything apart. They're both
it's a
boxing
father's
movies.
son. I said it was a father's son.
You didn't say shit.
I did. You know what's
Guys.
going to set mine apart? You know what's going to set mine apart is being so unique and different. I'm trying something new here. All right, I got Boo as the main antagonist, where he's. It starts off as like this nice Toad family coming into this house. It's going to be very paranormal-esque. It's going to be found footage. The Toad sets up the cameras, and you're going to see like this really creepy Boo. It's gonna look like Boo, but you're going to see like fangs coming from him, blood dripping. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to cause humor though. It's like it's going to feel like a parody, like seeing Toads get eaten alive and killed by Boo.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Boo is a
That's
cute
I'm
creature.
trying something new here. I'm trying something new.
You are trying new, and I respect the hell out of it.
You know what's going to be at the very end of mine? After this Toad family's been driven out, one of them is possessed by the Boo. You know who comes to save the day? You know who's at that door? Luigi.
Yes.
Luigi's right there for the sequel. Boo 2.
Yeah, see, that's cool, and I like that. That was awesome to have Luigi. I think just the hardest sell is you can't really sell a hard R Mario property. For Metroid, we're gonna go with the action, but we're still keeping it family friendly, like an MCU movie. That's what this is. It's Metroid is we're building a franchise of Samus. We're gonna go into, like you said, Metroid Prime being in development hell. This won't be in development hell because you know who we cast as Samus Aran?
Jennifer Lawrence.
No. Do you know who we cast?
Scarlett Johansson.
Who do you think we cast?
Who do we cast?
No.
Is it you?
No. We don't cast. We don't cast me. We're gonna. What's that? Oh.
It's okay. Yeah.
So this we're gonna cast.
You guys know.
We're gonna cast Chloe Grace Moretz as Aaron.
What?
Because I want to show essentially
You
Hit
didn't
Girl.
know.
Listen.
You fucked up
No,
your
listen.
Why her?
You want to know why? Because I did it for Kick-Ass. We saw she can do action. She's going in with more serious movies now. I think she just had a new movie that came out. It's showing her
I
acting.
don't think she has.
Well,
Like,
I thought yours was animated.
No.
no, he said
It's live action.
A live action. It's a live action movie.
It's
So
more like a
no,
film.
because
Let's hear Omid.
Yeah, because what we're saying is we saw it in Kick-Ass. Hit Girl, super acrobatic. She's doing all these flips. And Samus, when she's Zero Suit Samus, she's the most acrobatic character in Smash. So that's where we're gonna go. And people like you, that's problematic. Hit Girl is a great actor. Chloe Grace Moretz is a great actress. She's gonna come back. She's gonna come back to do Metroid. We're gonna have the fun. We're gonna have a franchise. We're gonna have Ridley, like a kaiju fight. I think just your guys it's Rocky. Yours is Boo or Medea Halloween. It doesn't work.
His directionless.
It is.
I have a question for Owen. I think Omid brought up a really good point. How both of you guys' protagonists are kind of, they're silent. They don't have any dialogue. So Owen, how are you trying to circumvent that in this Boo movie?
What do you mean by like?
Who's your protagonist?
Toad's gonna talk. I don't understand why that's the point.
But if Toad's talking, does that make Boo the main character, or
Who's the main character?
Yeah.
The main character is going to be Toad in this movie, but he's being antagonized by Boo. Because you know where he moves into? He moves into that big haunted mansion that's in that one Mario level.
Okay.
So that's where he's going. It's surrounded by Boos.
It's called Luigi's Mansion. Get it right? I mean, you're dating a
No,
ghost.
it's not Luigi's Mansion. I'm talking about not that one. I'm talking about like how he goes to like
He's in Smash.
It's like World 8 or something like that. And Mario games.
Oh.
It's World 5.
Whatever. He goes to World 5. And this mine's gonna be a Nintendo movie. Yours is just a boxing movie with the name
What
Little
Nintendo
Mac.
character? Yours is an R-rated movie. That's never gonna happen. It's a very funny. You
It's
should have
gonna
pitched
happen.
it. Yours would have been a layup. You would have literally laid it up if it was a Luigi's Mansion movie.
I don't want to.
That was the biggest fumble,
Because Luigi's a
of
boring
Mario
character.
history.
That's because Luigi's a boring character. I don't want to watch Luigi.
He's not a
The
boring
same
character.
way I don't want to watch a Little Mac movie.
No, but we're gonna make a whole new character.
So how does your character talk?
He will course
That's a big part of this
he will talk.
conversation, right? That's a big argument. Does he talk?
Let's hear what Amir has to
He
say.
will talk, and we're gonna make a character. I think the problem with your movie and your movie is you're gonna be so bound by the lore, by the game franchise. we have a whole new world that we can expand upon. I'm essentially making a very sympathetic character to Little Mac. We can essentially see he was raised as an orphan, living on the streets in Bronx, and then you know who saves his life? You know who picks him up? Doc Lewis. Doc Lewis takes him into his gym, and they're training every day. We get to see them build that relationship. And you know, at the end of the movie, Doc Lewis has a fucking heart attack. He's gone.
So you're copying Creed.
Doc Lewis.
No, Creed died. Rocky died. Rocky didn't die. Doc Lewis will die, and then he will live on and become this.
But Rocky's trainer dies, like in Rocky 3.
Yeah, it's no.
Yeah, well, Rocky 3.
But you're pitching the same movie as Rocky.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Rocky 3 with justice.
What are you doing new?
Give us something new.
It's gonna be Karate Kid. But it's gonna be Karate Kid meets Rocky. We're gonna have a whole tournament arc. We're gonna see awesome powers. We're gonna see Fire Fist, like essentially Don Fleet when he spins around.
Oh, so you have a little bit more like a fantasy idea where like
let's hear what Omid has to say.
I have to say this.
So mine's animated. That's why it works.
So I have to say this. That's what I have to say. What I have to say is this. Amir gave us an awesome idea. I love Little Mac. I love Punch Out. But the biggest thing you did was you should pitch as a show rather than a movie. How are you going to get an awesome tournament arc with these amazing 20 boxers of the entire Punch-Out universe? If you're doing it with a movie, you're getting, a 1-minute fight, 2-minute fight?
Well,
you should do it as a tournament arc. What?
We're going to get the heavy hitters.
Yes,
the
I
good
understand.
ones, like common ones.
You said Disco Kid. He's not a heavy hitter.
Well, he's in essentially the minor circuit. We're going to have like a fun montage to get cool Easter eggs.
I think it works so much better as almost an anime. Nintendo can do anime. They did Pokemon. They can go very serious.
Works better as an anime. You know how shitty it's gonna look having
But
this weird CGI.
This is like it's an MCU movie. We see Sonic has a big budget. This is gonna have a big budget too.
Yeah, but Sonic is fun.
Yeah,
mine is fun. Mine is fun. Mine is epic. Mine is epic.
Look,
Heather, we're gonna go to Brinstar. We're gonna see all these awesome planets, lava planet. We're gonna be inside the belly of the beast. Literally,
it should have been animated.
Okay, so
it doesn't need to be animated.
Yours could be way more animated than what we're talking about. Yours literally is just big CGI fights, and you're not giving us anything new that we already have.
Because
you're pitching MCU movies. It's gonna be the same exact generic action film, except now you have a female star. That's what you're banking off of.
So you said what's the story? No,
Yeah.
see the cat. I picked her because we need someone who can act, which we know she can. We need someone who can do the action, which we know she can as a kid. Imagine what she can do now. She's going back into acting, so that's great. And her arc for Samus, we learned in, I think it was Metroid Dread. She has her backstory, I think, to like aliens, almost like a god. So there is so much lore that we can.
What do you explain yourself?
For Metroid Dread, I think she's tied to like almost like. She's half Metroid, half human, and tied to like another bird god or something.
That's a lot to put into.
I didn't know. I'm saying. That's a lot. I understand. I want to address
that.
You're
bound by that lore.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna run into the same problems that every single video game movie runs into.
No,
Punch Out is a family movie. Yours is not.
I was about to say.
Yours
with Punch Out.
I didn't get to finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
Yeah, at least with Punch Out, like he's got nothing bound to him. You have so much lore and story. You're gonna have half of the movie. Half of the fans pissed off about the movie, and the other half like it.
I'm telling you, of lore, there is so much lore to Samus. We have all the stuff from Metroid Prime. We have all the stuff from just Metroid, and then now with Metroid Dread, there's so much that we can go in so many possible routes that it's not going to piss off anybody because Metroid has so many different origins that whatever way they do end up going, some fans will be happy, and there's
some.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Some will be happy. You're not giving.
Film. Yours has no story. He has no story. I'm telling you, for Samus, we're gonna. We can go into her backstory. What is she? Is she human? Is she Metroid? We have actual characters to follow. I think Little Mac, your idea is really good, but it's more of it's so much better of a series. Make it in like a megalobox, a box.
I think that's an unfair point to bring up because all of ours could probably work better as a series.
I want to hear more from Owen and his pitch about Boo.
Yeah.
About Boo?
his pitch, yeah.
Look, my pitch, I think I'm
Can you do a Toad impression?
No. I'm gonna turn it around on you guys. Alright, mine's gonna go back to live action with Peter B. Toad and his family.
What?
Yeah, he's
Peter B. Toad.
Peter B. Toad. So Peter B. Toad moves into this new mansion, haunted, scary movie. Look, we're going all over the place. We know exactly what we are. We're gonna be a shitty B movie. But at least I'm saying it. I know that I'm going to be a shitty movie. Everyone's going to have so much fun watching that movie. There's going to be so many little Easter eggs. They're going to bring their pet turtle, Koopa. There's going to be so many different cool little Easter eggs. And everyone's like, this movie fucking sucks, but I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it.
So you're banking on your movie being bad then?
Yes, he is.
I am.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about it.
Okay.
Right? Everyone loves a good B movie. And when's the last great B movie that came out? We haven't had a good B movie like that. Something that knows what it is. This is going to know exactly what it is. And
that was Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And I think
that
did horror so much better than what you're doing. That did horror so much better than what you're doing.
No, we're gonna do the same thing, but it's gonna be Mario.
No, but
it's gonna be fun.
No,
it's gonna be cool. You're gonna want to watch it again. You're gonna want to watch it with your friends, play some drinking games while every time Boo shows up and he does some shitty line, we're gonna drink and take a shot.
But you're doing Paranormal Activity. I think your idea was really cool. But Paranormal Activity, you know what half the movie is? It's just walking down hallways, doing nothing.
And that's what's terrifying about it. You never know where Boo's gonna come from.
But it's not terrifying.
You see Boo creeping up behind the lady while she's walking down the hall, and she turns around. He just stands still.
I think it would have been so much more horrifying. Yours should have been animated. Yours should have been live action.
Yours should have been
animated. That would have been really
gross
gross to see Toad live action. That would have been so
No, he's got like this weird deformity on his head.
That would have been cool. I think with Punch Out.
Tie this into your closing statement.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it off. I think Punch Out. It's a perfect answer. You know, it's a family movie. You're gonna have a lot of jokes. You're gonna have a father-son story at the core of it. It's like a Pixar movie. I think with Punch Out, it can be like Rocky, like Creed. And we've seen those movies are amazing. Just because it's similar to it doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. I mean, I think Little Mac is honestly an amazing character that we can develop and flesh out and even have a franchise. Like the sequel, they're going to want revenge. It's going to be Punch Out, title defense for the sequel. But I think Punch Out is going to be a great introduction to a lot of fans. And we will fix the problems with any race issues that they've had before.
In your guys' closing statements, can you also touch upon, building the franchise of these characters?
For
sure.
Yeah, that's my closing. I think Punch Out's going to be amazing.
Okay, nice.
So
I guess if I'm building a franchise, we're gonna go to like 8 different movies at this point. We're gonna go full B movie sci-fi, Boo 2, Boo 3, Boo 4, Boo 5, Boo 6. We're gonna go all the way, all right? It's gonna be a great movie. Everyone's gonna love every single one. It's gonna be the new Sharknado. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be the new Sharknado where we bring in other characters. Bowser's gonna be an appearance in like episode 5. I'm sorry. And sequel 5. And sequel 5 is gonna be a little Bowser cameo where it's this deformed turtle that's like biting on little cows. I don't know. It's gonna be good. I think for your movies, it definitely works way better as an anime. It's gonna be one big CGI fight, and you haven't even pitched us a story. You've told us different aspects of Samus, but you know how hard it is.
what was your story? You have no story.
Okay.
So it's a B movie. That's all you're giving us. Is a fucking B
This is
movie.
my closing statement. Excuse me. So for yours, you haven't pitched us a story. You've given us just different aspects that you can take from Samus, but you know how hard it is to appease anyone. You have way too much lore, and at that point, just like Alvin said when we were doing the Uncharted review, you'd rather play the games. Yours is set up for failure.
No.
Yours is set up for failure,
No.
and yours is not going to work because you have way too much going for it. And you like Amir said, yours is in development hell.
It's
For
so
a video
stupid.
game,
That's
it's
so
gonna be the same
stupid.
for the story, because you're not going to be able to get a good story out of that.
Can I get my closing? So
Yes,
if we're gonna
closing.
if we're gonna really take development hell as essentially my raging demon against me, we haven't had a new Punch Out since 2012. So that shit's been done. And for you, I'm not even gonna waste my time on Sharknado 2. You should have pitched us a Luigi's Mansion movie.
No one likes Luigi.
I love Luigi.
Yeah, I know you do. Go ahead.
So what we're saying is this: for Samus, yes, maybe you guys don't like Chloe Grace Moretz, but this is a story of redemption. We're having essentially Samus Aran. She's a homeless. The way I'm gonna do it, maybe we'll fix. Maybe this is the idea of it. She's a homeless girl taken in by essentially the Metroid Federation, whoever is that Space Command. She brought in and said, you know what? You had no life, so I'm gonna bring you. I'm gonna train you. You're gonna help us save the world from these Metroid brain suckers.
So we're getting child Samus.
That's the beginning. That's her origin, and we're gonna grow her up.
Okay, sounds like a lot of development for a character we just want to see as Samus.
So what I'm saying is this: we're gonna have an awesome deep story of Samus Aran because for your guys' characters there is no story behind it, so it's a bit hard to follow it. For mine, we're gonna follow Samus Aran. If we want a franchise, we can go franchise. We're gonna have Metroid, Super Metroid, and then Metroid 3 becomes Metroid Prime. And then that's when we essentially bring in the Dark Samus. There is so much lore to pull from. For yours, it's just a boxing thing. It's very similar to Creed, very similar to Rocky. You really should have went with Luigi's Mansion. For mine, it's an awesome action movie. Yeah, it's a superhero movie. That's what this is. Nintendo's making their first superhero movie with Samus, and it's awesome that it's a female-led movie because everything now is always male-led. Give us something new. Give us Samus. Give us Metroid.
Those are all good arguments. So, okay, Omid, I like the Metroid idea, right? And it is live action, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with the others where I think it lends itself more to an animated, but what you pitched is also very it seems, I can see your vision, right? I like that idea where it's kind of like an MCU style like action movie.
Yeah.
That's like a huge franchise, Star Wars, basically, you said.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek. Owen, I liked how different yours was. Yours took a huge swing, and I really liked it, where it was rated R. But I also liked the animated. Initially, you said it was animated, but then you changed it to live action halfway through.
No, you can do whatever you want, Alvin.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he switched.
Peter B. Toad.
I like the idea though.
We'll do both. We'll do both.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Nothing of it.
I like that.
What the hell just happened?
I like how different it is. Yeah, and then I think just the subversion of expectations, where you take a kids franchise and make it into an adult horror, scary franchise. I think it's really cool idea. And then Amir, I will say, everyone did say it sounds like Rocky and Creed, but I think what you brought to it, it's a lot of, you're trying to write things, right? You said you're trying not to make it racist or whatever, caricatures, but then like the story you presented about a father and a son, that's pretty interesting pertaining to this character, because this character, you're right too, it's a blank slate. No one really knows the backstory of Lil Mac. All very good answers, very good round. But I do have to give this one to Amir.
What? No!
Yeah. I think that's just the most engaging and, like you said, most fun, and also,
Yeah, I was like, oh.
yeah.
When you got me on like the fire punch, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I wanna see that.
When I submitted the answer, I was like, oh shit, Omid probably already picked it. But I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go for it anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's a good round. That's a good
I
round.
deserve that one.
No, you didn't. For sure, his should have been an anime. That would have been so much cooler. It'd be like Baki. Make it like a
Talking about
Megalobox. It should be like Megalobox. I think you can have an awesome
I
tournament.
think you already won, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, for the next round, it's which musician or band should get a biopic made of them?
You keeping your hat on?
Oh, I can go.
I was asking. Alright.
Yeah,
All right.
That was a video game fight. Now
Yeah.
we're back to real life.
Yeah.
So this one, I want to start with Owen.
Oh, perfect.
Actually.
Okay. So when thinking of a music biopic, I think a lot of real life bands are kind of boring. You understand the story. You could watch it in a documentary. You don't need to see people portray these characters.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring us into this world of the Muppets. We're going to see a music biopics of Electric Mayhem, the band within the Muppets. We're going to see them at the very start of their origin story, where they're all just like this garage band. They're trying out new stuff. We see who's the head singer? Animal, when he had his speech. Animal was able to speak back then before he got it's the typical rock band where like they get into drugs, sex, money, everything. Band.
Is this rated R?
Yeah, is this rated R?
It's gonna be hard R. It's gonna be a hard R Muppet movie. It's gonna be really funny. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna see these Muppets in these weird situations. We're gonna see Animal get addicted to like cocaine, which messes with his brain, which impairs his speech. But we're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel when they meet Kermit. They're gonna meet. Oh, Kermit fell.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna meet Kermit. Kermit's gonna take them out of this darkness that they're in. And they're gonna say, "Hey," Kermit says, "Hey, I've got this TV show. It's called The Muppet Show. I know that you guys have been in a really bad place for a long time, but I'm gonna bring you guys there. I think this is gonna be a good way to reinvigorate their band." And they say, "You know what? We've had a lot of struggles, a lot of stress. We're gonna do this." And they end up becoming the main band from the Muppets, and they become this child-friendly band for the rest of their time. I think it's gonna be a great origin story within the Muppet universe. So we see where they started off with like Dr. Teeth and Animal and all of them. It's gonna be a great origin story.
So Owen picked something really good. I think that he really had fun with the passion. Owen was right. So many of these music groups now, they are so basic and so vanilla. And the way I went was, my music group essentially, no one knows who they are. They are mysterious. They are an enigma. They are techno themselves. I picked Daft Punk. And so Daft Punk. So what we're seeing now is I want to pitch it almost as like a Blade Runner-esque movie where it's very very visually pleasing, very neon, a lot of blue and a lot of pink. And it's going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve. And the way I'm doing it is this. A year ago, we saw Daft Punk broke up, right? Everyone lost their mind that they're broken up. And I still have the idea, this is all part of their plan. This is them making the movie of saying, oh, do people care that we're broken up? So this movie is essentially, we're going to see their rise to fame, their breakup, and this movie's going to be called Daft Punk One More Time.
That's cool.
That was good. That's actually really good.
Actually really cool. You guys had really good picks. And when I looked at a biopic movie, I was like, man, biopics fucking suck. I wanted to have fun with this. I wanted to make a comedy. So I'm going to go with the classic band, BTR. I'm going to go with a biopic of Big Time Rush. We all love that band, and I believe they just announced that they're having another tour forever. So I want to do it is I think the best part of Big Time Rush is actually the TV show. It's actually very funny. I think it's done by Scott Fellows, who did Nancy Classified. So I want to make a movie essentially seeing them build Big Time Rush, have all those funny moments, but we're going to see essentially them come back together and be a family again, be Big Time Rush. And it's going to be essentially their farewell movie. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a Big Time Rush forever. That's my pitch.
So you said it's their farewell movie, so they're not a band?
No, so essentially it's starting off, we're going to see them when they're making the show, having all the wacky antics. The guy from Malcolm in the Middle, he's going to be the manager, he's going to be there. And you know what brought them back together?
Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah, he's the house man. He was the hotel manager.
Okay.
Oh, Craig.
I was about to say, don't call Heisenberg the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
His name is Hal.
No, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Hal.
Oh, yeah,
I understand. He's Hal before Heisenberg.
Okay,
Yeah, you know what brings them together? Gustavo. Gustavo
Gustavo.
Droll bypass.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He's having a droll bypass, and they need essentially raise enough money to.
What is it with you and characters having heart attacks in your pitches, bro?
He did. This is the second one.
This is the second one in a row.
He's recycling his idea.
No. I want them to be a reason that they're coming back together. Elijah Mayhem, really good idea, but I don't know if I want to see Animal.
I don't want to see that either.
I don't know if I want to see that.
I think the world doesn't need to see it, but it's what we have to see. Right? We're looking at the origin story of Electric Mayhem. It's not going to always be pretty. All right, not everything's like sunshines and rainbows.
It's true.
And this movie is going to perfectly encapsulate that. We're in this Muppet universe where they were hired on by Kermit, so they're their own people before they become a part of the Muppets. All right, so we're going to see their origin story from this. Like I said,
So is Kermit at the end?
Kermit's at the end.
Oh, so we're seeing the whole shitty life.
We're gonna see the life of the whole band. We're gonna see them break up, go apart. We're gonna see them get back together, and then we're gonna see at the very end how like no one's like a big fan of them anymore. And that's when Kermit's like, you know what? I've always loved your music. We need you guys.
Can I tell you what you pitched? This is what you pitched us. You pitched us Bohemian Rhapsody meets Happy Time Murders.
I was about to say Happy
Yeah,
Time
I was
Happy
literally
Time
about
Murders.
to.
So we're gonna get the silly string cum shots. We're gonna get all these really gross fucking shit in that movie. I don't want to see an animal do that. I don't want to see it in my Muppets movie. We saw the Henson's son gave us Happy Time Murders. That didn't work. And I think yours also, it was coming off more like a TV movie. I think for mine, it's a big, epic, because we saw in Rocket Man, it was a biopic, but it was also a musical. So when there was their music scenes, it went to musical numbers. For mine is when we're doing this, we're going to have epic, badass drops. Like, let's say the first time they ever play One More Time or Robot Rock. We're going to have like essentially big robots fighting when they do it. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. Daft Punk is larger than life. We're going to make an awesome, because biopics are so boring. I want an awesome action movie, and Denis Villeneuve will give us that awesome movie.
You're giving us an action movie. First off, I think the best part about Daft Punk is the mystery behind them. I don't want to see their face throughout the whole
Are they taking
thing.
the helmet off?
Yeah, are they taking the helmet off?
Yeah, so they're going to have to, because people have seen them
Then
before.
I don't want to see that.
No, people have seen them before.
Yeah, but I don't want this. You're giving us concerts. That's what you're giving us. You're giving us.
I'm giving you an experience.
But my favorite part about Daft Punk is the mystery behind them. You don't see their face. That's what they cover. I don't want to see this origin story.
That's who they were, actually. That's who they were, and that's them coming back. Now, them coming back and becoming a group. But essentially, yeah. Once they blow up, because that's what happens. They blow up once they break up, right? So we are gonna see. We want to know who Daft Punk is. We want to know how they meet. How they made all their awesome Ram or just all their awesome albums. It's also for yours. I think Big Time Rush. I love Big Time Rush. I love Boyfriend. Boyfriend was so good. I'm gonna say I love that song.
Boyfriend.
I feel it. Okay, it works. It works. But the problem is this: boy bands are not in anymore. That's just what it is.
They're doing their farewell tour.
No, BTS is the biggest band in the world, Omid.
Oh yeah, baby! I forgot about BTS. It's a crossover.
Well, why would I want
BTR x BTS?
Well, why would I want BTR but have BTS? You're right, and I think for them, BTS is probably 20 to 25-year-old. These guys are fucking 40. Some of them are bald. Some of them are bald. I don't think we want a boy band movie.
If we want a boy band movie, we're gonna get the Jonas Brothers.
And also, I'm gonna say this:
boy
bands are problematic. Boy bands are problematic. They're pandering to 14. They're going to 14.
Let's hear what Amir has to say about this.
Who's a Trump supporter?
The Mexican one or the
Carlos
Latino
Peña?
one.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I didn't mean that. I meant more so.
Oh, but I'm saying that.
I'm saying on
facts.
on boy bands.
Fact check it.
On
I
boy
do not
bands.
believe that.
Boy bands are essentially fishing for 14-year-old girls. That is so gross.
No, listen.
Ours at least for mature audiences.
I'm not gonna let you.
Can I make a point to your Happy Time shit?
That's his Happy Time shit.
Oh, your Happy Time shit. Look, I'm telling you, this is the origin of electric mayhem. It's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be this over-the-top humor. This isn't a funny movie. We're going to see.
So you're giving us The Wrestler, like a really dark,
a really good movie,
a really dark,
a really good movie with the Muppets. All right, it's not going to be this weird raunchy comedy where it's just ugly and gross for the sake of being gross. It's ugly and gross because that's real life. Yeah. This is what the Muppets have gone through, and we're seeing the origin story. It's a sad movie. All right, it's a really sad movie, but we're going to see light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm going to be sad
because
watching
that's what the Muppets are all about. They're all about hope. And the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's always good things at the end of life. It's always about being hopeful. No story is more hopeful than the story of Electric Mayhem.
But we've had that with so many rock groups. We see Elton John
we see
has.
With our childhood band. We see with these childhood heroes.
You're tainting.
You get that with Amanda Bynes.
We're not
seen with so many
tainting
people.
or staining anything. This is real life. This is what they've
You're
gone
staining
through.
it with the silly string, the white
If you
silly
want to
string.
stain things, you're going to stain Daft Punk. All of our bands have gone through shitty things in life, and this is the whole point of a music biopic: is to see the hard things that they've gone through, and to see them come through it at the end.
And that's BTR.
No.
Yeah, because remember the show, that was like the best show on Nickelodeon. You guys loved it. Didn't you guys love that show?
It was
I
okay.
did.
It was a great
No,
show.
it was okay.
It was made by the guy who did Nancy.
It was really good. It was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
We were singing the songs earlier. They had amazing songs. Imagine, the Endgame portal scene. People were cheering for that. When your boyfriend, they're gonna fucking.
We're gonna get
die
we're gonna
in
get
the theater.
Endgame. Andrew Garfield saving MJ, cheering when Kermit walks into the door. We're seriously gonna get that because you know the way that they shot it in the
You're gonna have
Muppet
the
movie where
backstory.
they had like the lights on Kermit. You could see a silhouette. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see the whole crowd going crazy.
They would, and then they hear the shitty voice. Like they hear
No, we're not getting that guy. All right,
Well,
my movie is gonna have the original, the second voice actor for Kermit, so he's gonna have the real voice. Don't worry, we're fixing Kermit too in this movie. That's gonna be the definitive part of the movie too.
I hope so. I mean,
For your movie, look, I think it's cool to get to know Daft Punk, but I just don't see how you're gonna be able to. You're talking about how like you're tainting our image of the Muppets. You're tainting the image of the Daft Punk.
No, I'm not
I
because
love-
It's gonna be a cool sci-fi.
we're gonna learn.
It's a
It
cool
is.
sci-fi movie.
'Cause that's what we
But
want from
I'd
a
rather just listen to
biopic.
the music at that point. I'd rather.
Yeah, but I'm
just,
saying you're getting a story. You get to know who they are. Essentially, you're gonna see them in France. You're gonna see them grow up together. You're gonna see, how do they meet? How do they come up with their design of Daft Punk? And then as we see their awesome concert, we're gonna have them do around the world for their first tour when they're touring around the world together.
I'm a little confused. So is it like a dystopian?
You said action also. You said action.
Wait,
so-
No,
so
I'm saying,
is
is
it
it-
like Rocket Man, where it's a dystopian sci-fi fantasy?
No, what it is,
Or-
it's like Rocketman. Whenever they play a song in Rocketman, it goes into a straight musical number. For this, we're gonna do. It's gonna go into essentially
Blade Runner when it does the song.
when it does this, depending on what the song is, like because they made an anime for one of their albums. I forgot what album it was called, but essentially when they do it, it's like, if it's Robot Rock, we're gonna have a bit. It's like it's gonna be them at their nightclubs. Whenever it's that
that'd be
nightclub,
cool.
it goes into an awesome
But I think
action
you guys,
scene.
your music is cool. I think your music isn't there. That's the problem. I think
It's not.
with the music biopic, it has to have the bangers. It has to be a
You're
pop
telling me
rock.
Daft
getting
Punk
bangers.
is
No, yours will be.
You
I
know,
don't even know about
you know
yours.
why? Because you
It's
know
just-
why? Electric Mayhem played with Metallica. Electric Mayhem played with System of a Down.
So they're all going to be in this movie?
Yeah, they're all going to be in this movie. That's the whole point of Muppet movies, right? Cameos. We all see these really good cameos. We're going to get amazing
Is
music
it
cameos.
is it a Muppet movie or is it a hard R drug Back to Redemption? I don't know.
Yours is Rock of
It's
Ages.
both.
Yours is the Rock
It
of
is
Ages.
Rock of Ages.
My movie is honestly an amazing movie for the fans. It's getting a funny comedy. Yours is action, but that's boring. Yours is a drug-filled, crazy orgy
Mine's a movie about life.
Yours is an orgy movie.
No. Mine is a movie about life. All right, and at the end of the day, they are still Muppets. Yes, so we're gonna.
Don't you care about Gustavo? Do you care about Gustavo?
No,
Yes, you
I
do.
cared about him
You
when I
guys-
was 12. I cared about when I'm 12.
And when you see him again, it'll be honestly.
Did you fact check it? Did you fact
I'm more
check it?
nostalgic.
Yeah, Carlos Pena. There's speculation, but there's no concrete evidence.
That's fine, and that's
listen,
fine.
Listen, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, right? And I got really excited when I saw Tobey in the theater. The more I see Gustavo on the big screen, I'm gonna fucking lose.
You
it.
know,
Can I tell you
know
this?
you're dragging that Gustavo. thing.
Yeah, it is. That's all you have.
Amir,
it's
tie
gonna
this into
work.
your closing
It's
statement.
gonna work, and I think the whole thing is it's at least on par with the brand of BTR. All the fans of BTR are gonna see is like, wow, this feels just like the show. This is music that is what we expect from Muppets. Is a betrayal of Muppets, and it's just honestly like, yeah, it's cool. You want hard R. I think the Boo worked better hard R. The hard R animal that's talking, he's not even an animal anymore. He's not even an animal.
We see him become animal.
Yeah, then
It's like Nathan, you give me as Nate Drake.
Well, let me,
You give me as Nate Drake.
Yeah, Nate Drake. Let me tie this into my closing. I think with my movie, Big Time Rush Forever, essentially it's going to be like Jackass Forever. We're going to have all the fans come back together. It's going to be a nice, sentimental send-off movie that we will tie into ticket sales for the tour. But it'll be amazing to see Logan, Kendall, James, Carlos. We have the squad right here. Logan, James, Carlos,
Gustavo. Oh, sorry.
We have the squad, and it'll be like Jack and Trevor because they are like a family, and that's why I see it being a great biopic that can honor the legacy of the past, but also craft something new for the future. That is Big Time Rush forever.
Okay. I am pitching us the story of Electric Mayhem, and at the end of the day, that's what a music biopic is. It's not pretty. Obviously, we're going to see the downfall of these guys. We're going to see Animal lose his mind, essentially, and lose the ability to speak. But that still doesn't. That helps us with the overarching message that everything gets better. That there's hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel. With you, we're too late for a BTS or a BTR movie. All right, I liked the show when I was a kid, but I'm not going to like it now. You know, it's really hard to rewatch those Nickelodeon TV shows, and it's going to be even harder to watch a full movie about it.
I agree.
Especially because that even the comedy was like so. It was
so
slapstick.
It was slapstick. No, it was slapstick with like sound effects. You can't get that. You can't get that with. I'm talking. Yeah. You can't get that with like a full film, and it's not going to be a good film. And you're looking for a biopic. You're pitching us a comedy movie with people that I don't even want to see in a movie. For you, you don't know the story of Daft Punk. No one knows the story of Daft Punk, and at the end of the day, it could be the most boring movie at the end of time. It could be just two white guys found each other and like, oh, I like you, you like me. That's it. There's no heart. There's no drive.
I'll tell you the run of the drive.
You could give us the same exact thing where you're talking about like these little animes, shorts for the music. We could get little short films for that. They could just release little animated music videos for those, and everyone's gonna like that way more because at the end of the day, it's a music biopic, and we're not gonna want to know about Daft Punk. We're gonna want to see the really cool animation part of it. Mine is a music biopic where we see the life and the heart of Electric Mayhem before they met the Muppets. We're gonna see them live, laugh, love. We're gonna see them go through the hardest things in life. But at the end of the day, the Muppet movies, I think right now are for adults, for people who have grown up with the Muppets. The kids can watch old Muppet movies and enjoy the way it was. But us now, living through life, we need that hope. And what better to give us hope than to see these bands and these people go through so much hard things and the things that we haven't experienced, but we may experience.
Yes.
And this is my closing. I'm sorry, I'm still trying. I know. Look, I'll end it when
it's pretty long.
No, I'll end it when the judge tells me to end. And look, at the end of the day,
I think
you're done.
I got the gist of
I want to give the world hope.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what he said. Oh, mine's gonna be a boring biopic. You know what my group has done that your guys isn't? They've defined a generation of music. They've defined a genre of music. Your guys, you're just doing. There have been so many boy bands. Muppets, they're awesome. It's a fun idea, but I think the hard art. It's really, it will be a fun movie for some Muppet fans. But some Muppet fans don't ever want to see. They don't want to see animals' dick. They don't want to see all these really gross things.
That a fun movie, and I told you we're not getting raunchy.
Okay.
We're not getting Muppet dick. Don't worry.
But some people want to see it, so some people are going to be unhappy.
No one wants to see that.
So I'll say this. I'll say this. My group has defined a genre of music, and what is more scary as a profession to pursue as music. These guys, when they went in, there was no thing as like techno. They were the first to do it. So we're gonna see them come together. We're gonna see them on the south of France. We're gonna see them. It's like almost like Peace Off. It's gonna be a sad story about them coming together, finding out what it means to what techno music is. And I think we're going to have, like I said, we're going to have Denis Villeneuve. We're going to have the awesome visuals from Blade Runner. We're going to have really awesome action scene whenever they do music. Daft Punk, One More Time, is a great way to essentially bring back them because when they said they broke up, the whole world shook. Everyone was scared. Now that they're coming back, they had like a Twitch stream. Everyone was so happy. People want Daft Punk back. We need this movie. Daft Punk, One More Time, come in theaters in 2 years.
Those are all good answers. I think this question was one of the most interesting ones because just the answers you guys gave. Okay, Amir, Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was out of left field. I didn't expect that. I didn't know you were a BTR fan.
It is. I love the show.
Respect.
Big show.
Respect.
The music's great.
I
bet you guys all had it on your.
I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I think BTR. I like the concept of it where they can be a family again, and you said it's a farewell movie. And then like they come together because of Gustavo, right? I like that concept. Owen, for Electric Mayhem, I think having the Muppets, that like both of your picks, your Nintendo pick and this one, they're very out of left field, right? It's very eclectic, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very brave.
Ballsy.
Very ballsy, yes. Having a hard R Muppet movie though, I don't know about that. I think that's a very interesting take.
Damn.
Yeah. But maybe it will. Maybe it'll work, right? Your vision. I can see. I wrote down the notes, and I can see that you're very passionate about this.
Mhm.
And then Omid, Daft Punk, iconic. Tron Legacy. They did the score and all that. Having the Blade Runner visuals, I think that's very interesting. Trying to make it artistic and all of that. I like that aspect of it. I like the title a lot. One More Time. That's a very good title. BTR Forever, just Jackass Forever, bro.
Yeah,
Farewell Tour is also called that. So it's actually
So what you're saying, Farewell Tour, they're not. Is this their last tour
Yeah,
or what?
I didn't know
They're
that
getting
either.
together just to do one more tour, or
yeah,
they're getting.
one more tour to get enough money to save Gustavo.
I thought he died.
No, he's having triple bypass surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, his pitch was
Yeah.
sloppy.
Hey, fuck you.
Alvin wasn't digging it. Alvin wasn't digging it.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. For Daft Punk, they did define a genre of music, and they pioneered so many things.
He did.
Yeah, and you're right. I think it would be a very interesting and cool thing to. Is this like an experiment, right? Like you said, they ended because they stopped, and then now this movie is gonna be their reintroduction to the world.
Mhm.
So I think that's why I'm gonna give it to Omid.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
That
go.
was like a rock man. This is fun.
Yeah. I like yours. Yeah,
I just think you guys can't get it.
Get
Huh?
what?
The movie. I just don't understand it. It's too smart for you.
I said it was good. It was funny.
I liked your pick. It was really
Yeah.
good.
It was a good one. It was
Yeah.
a good round.
Yeah.
That was a good round for all of you guys. Great answers. Always great answers you guys give. So the next round is best CGI character, and I actually want to start with Omid.
Okay.
So, best CGI character. We're in the year of 2022 now. Everything is CGI. My character was one of the OG characters to be completely CGI throughout the movie, and I picked John Osterman, Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. And what else can I say is other than he's God. He literally is God. And what I love so much about Dr. Manhattan is he's not just CGI action. He's a character that has so much to speak on the story of Watchmen, on humanity, and essentially what is like to be a god. What we see is him when he becomes Dr. Manhattan. He dies due to essentially like a nuclear reaction, right? We see it, and throughout the course of the story, we see him lose his humanity throughout life. We see when he's dating his girlfriend, he essentially no longer does the thing that a partner should do, and she's like, "Oh, do I look older to you?" And he's like, "You do. Every single day I notice how much older you get." And he ends up cheating on her. He literally disregards any feelings of anyone in the entire world. And you know what? He lets so many people die because of his lost humanity. Dr. Manhattan, amazing.
Great pick. He picked a bastard though. He's a piece of shit person.
He is.
I want. Yeah, unlikable. But when I was looking for an answer for this one, I wanted to pick a character that was sympathetic, that was complicated, that was complex. And I'm going with one that will stand the test of time. I'm going with Davy Jones as the best CGI character. He is honestly unparalleled. He is amazing in Dead Man's Chest, and he has an amazing send-off with At World's End. I think when you're looking at CGI character, you essentially need to find the humanity under all of that computer graphics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Davy Jones, I think it's so immersive that you forget halfway through, like, oh shit, the tentacles? Shit, that's not there. I forget that. I was like, shit, I guess we don't have tentacles under our job.
Yeah.
It's honestly an amazing character. We get to see him essentially fall in love with someone. And he's a story of heartbreak. He literally cuts out his own heart, puts it in the chest. There's so much amazing lore to him. I'm going Davy Jones.
Both cool answers, but I don't think you're nearly as good as my pick right now. I think my pick comes from one of the greatest trilogies of the 2000s, or 2010s.
2010s.
In the last 20 years. It's one of the greatest trilogies. We see literally the rise and fall of this character between him saving his people and becoming the leader that everyone needs. I'm going with King Caesar from Planet of the Apes. I love him. I think he's great. I think when you have CGI characters, you have to be able to see, like you said, see the humanity behind them. No one encapsulates the feelings and emotions that we see on the face like Caesar does. You see him cry. You see him angry. You see him go through all the emotions as an ape. Not as a human, as an ape. So you can see this animal go through all the emotions that a human does because of the way that the CGI works with him. I think that he was an amazing character throughout the entire trilogy. We see him born to James Franco.
James.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Born to James Franco, get this like the serum that increases the brain capacity. We see him in his first words where he says no. I think that was an awesome scene, and that's just in the first movie alone. The second and the third movie both have amazing scenes. He's an amazing character. He's the leader that the apes needed, and he's by far the greatest CGI character of all time.
That was great. I think, but his development, he's at his best in the first one. Like, honestly, if you're going to go with Planet of the Apes, you could have picked a better character. You should have went Dr. Zayas. Dr. Zayas is much better. Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas. That's a way better character.
Yeah.
And with John Osterman, I mean, we have the new Watchmen show. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, he's a way better Dr. Manhattan.
Why? Have you seen it?
I've seen trailers.
Strike that from Ken. He hasn't seen shit. He hasn't seen shit of him.
Disqualified.
Yeah.
He looks. John Osterman, yes, he looks really cool. The CGI is great, but we're not talking about the technology. We're talking about on the character. And I think you said it best: the lack of humanity. So it's like, okay, he's just another CGI monster.
No, yeah, that's literally the point.
But can I tell you,
you've given us a blue character.
Can I tell you can I tell you why his loss of humanity is so fucking good? Because you see throughout the movie, he loses, and until the very end, he learns from his mistakes, and he essentially stops practically ends the Cold War. He stops Russia or the Soviet Union and the United States from going from nuclear war by what? By telling the world, everyone go against me. I'm the one that caused all these bombs. I'm a mass weapon of destruction. I'm going to kill humans. I'll take the blame for what an actual human did, and I'll say, it was me, and I'll leave the fucking planet. And I'll do it for everyone. Yeah, that's awesome. But I'll tell you this. With Davy Jones, do we really remember Davy Jones, or do we remember his theme? That's all we know of Davy Jones.
I don't remember Davy Jones. I feel like he was...
Davy Jones is an awesome character, but there is no... You said my character... You have no arc. There is no arc. What?
Are you kidding me? Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3 were the biggest movies.
What's his arc? What does he learn?
What do you mean? He learns that essentially...
What does he learn?
He learns that... He learns that keep holding on to that grudge of essentially not loving... Not having a family, not moving on from his grievances. He's destined to fail. But do you know what he does do? He essentially is able to find a new family, and when people die on shore, are you afraid? Do you fear death?
You said a new family when he says, "Bootstrap your eternity, you are a liar, and you will serve eternity on this ship." He's not
able to quote him. That's how good he is as a character. It's easier, cool, but like you said, no. That's all he says. John Osterman, yes, you are older. Like, really?
No. Hold on. I will say that's a really good point that Caesar says no. I like how that completely detaches the argument where my character's not good anymore, right? Because he says no.
Yeah, it is a shitty argument.
That's all he says. He's a monkey.
No, he's not. At the end of the day, you can see the human aspects of him. We all know he's a great character. That's why neither of you can have any good points towards Caesar.
I can attack Caesar.
No, you can't. You know you can't.
I'll let you
say. Caesar is the best character within this trilogy, and you see him go through trusting humans with James Franco, and you see him lose his trust. You see him when these humans they pop into his forest, his area in Planet of the Apes 2. You see how he doesn't trust them at first, and he doesn't want to interact with them because he knows how humans are dangerous. He has to make the hard decision as a leader to eventually let them go, right? He helps them out, and that backfires on him. You see him make mistakes as a leader. You see him make mistakes that eventually cost the life of his wife and his kid, right? We see this ape humanized through the effects of CGI. We see him cry. We see him look at the old film with him and James Franco. You see the emotions in his face. What better way to say there's the best CGI character but for the CGI to just encapsulate all the feelings and emotions that he's feeling as an ape? We see this trilogy end in the most beautiful way possible, where he's surrounded by all of his fellow apes, with his son there, with him, with go ahead, say it again. The big
Dr. Zayas?
With Dr. Zayas?
Dr. Zayas is in the new one.
No, the third one.
He's the OG costume character.
That's Maurice. That's the Dr. Zayas though, right?
Essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's a good point.
But we see him by his side lose his life after he's eventually saved the apes, knowing that what he caused, when he saved all of his people, how he was able to turn other apes within the facility when they started shooting at their own people, because these things were these like the gorillas that were used as like dogs essentially. He sees them as slaves, and he's there to free them essentially. He is the leader that all apes need.
That is good, but I put that on the writing of the movie. I think if you're gonna pick Andy Serkis, you should have went with Smeagol. Smeagol's a much better CGI character.
I think I want to say
no. Why? Go ahead, you can't be saying things.
You know why Smeagol is so good? Because he's essentially commentary on us. Essentially,
get the fuck out of here.
Unrelenting desire.
Yeah.
Unrelenting desire.
I would tell you guys are really good at saying things but not explaining them.
This is why this is a good episode, guys.
I'll
This is
tell
why
you
it's a
this.
good episode.
I want to go off what Owen actually said. This means we don't even waste your time
No,
on
that's
that.
a good.
It
It is.
That's
Don't waste your time on it.
Don't
What I'll
waste
say.
time on
What
it.
I'll say is this. Caesar is an awesome character. He is a good hero. He's a hero. He's a hero, right? You know what Davy Jones is? Davy Jones is a villain. You know what Dr. Manhattan is? Dr. Manhattan is a great character. You know who's great? All of us. All of us have shitty moments in our fucking lives. That
And
Dr.
Caesar
Manhattan
didn't?
What is-
I told you how he failed. I told you how he goes.
Well, no,
through the loss
he
of
makes
his life.
he makes
He fails and he makes mistakes.
No, I'm saying he makes
exactly.
everyone
He's
makes. I'm saying
human.
no, I'm saying everyone makes mistakes, but not
They
everyone
turned
makes.
this ape
no.
into a human, Alvin. They turned him into a human through the effects of CGI. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
You keep talking about Dr. Manhattan's. No one wants
Can
to
I
see
tell
this
you-
Davy
human.
Jones is better than Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Any
He's
better
not.
than you. Because essentially, you know how sad he is in the third
Who?
movie? Davy Jones.
Why?
When he sees Calypso come back and she's with Jack Sparrow, he is vengeful. That's the third one.
Pretty sure the second one with the tentacles and.
He's
shit.
vengeful. And then when you see him with Cutler Beckett, honestly, you see how neutered he is and how vulnerable he is.
Yeah.
We never see Dr. Manhattan vulnerable. And yeah, Caesar's good, but honestly, when I'm watching the movie, it's like, this is still a fucking monkey. Like,
It is still a
it's
monkey, but what you said about vulnerability. Do you know what happened to Dr. Manhattan in the middle of the movie?
No. No
So
one remembers that
so-
shit movie.
We'll go off the fucking story. We'll go off the story. The story of what Alan Moore wrote. People didn't hate watching the movie because of the story. They hate it because it's directed by Zack Snyder. But we'll say is this: you want to see Dr. Manhattan vulnerable? Yeah, Snyder is, until the end. What's it called? You know, we want to see Dr. Manhattan vulnerable. He gets dumped by Silk Spectre for who? By fucking Dan, by Night Owl, a guy who dresses in a fucking diaper. And you know how Dr. Manhattan responds to getting dumped? He leaves Earth. When you left me, I left Earth. Does that not show you I care? He is human. That is us. That literally is us. I think there is
You're doing
he
the
is.
Shining Knight. He's too good.
No, that's both of you. You're just a villain. You're just a
Davy
hero.
Jones-
You're just a villain. You're just a hero. And I love the fact that Davy Jones puts his heart in the box because he never wants it to get hurt again.
Yeah,
right? That's
it's
his whole
amazing.
thing.
It's an amazing
That's his whole thing.
metaphor.
But I'm saying the idea is that's so just one dimensional. You see my character, me and Owen's character actually grow. Yours really doesn't. So I would count you out. I'm gonna have to count you out. I'm gonna have to count you out.
Well, you're not the judge. The way I see it is with Davy Jones, he has amazing.
Tie
fight
this into
scenes.
your closing.
He has amazing fight scenes in the movie. He's a complex character. He's better than just monologues and good writing. Davy Jones is on the actor, the performance. Like, yeah, Andy Serkis is good, but
You're right.
everything you
He is
said was on the writing. I give that to Matt Reeves. Andy Serkis didn't essentially give him this amazing backstory. The way I see
But he
Davy,
portrayed it well.
Yeah.
He
But-
portrayed it in
no,
this
but not
beautiful
really.
way with him having polka dots on his fucking face while
It's
doing
true.
it. You can
no,
still see
but
the
you
emotion on his face.
can make the teardrop go down with CGI. With Davy
Exactly.
You can do it with Davy
And
Jones.
CGI,
No.
what we're talking
Wait,
about.
no,
But
with
Davy
that you
Jones,
can.
he acts beyond the makeup. He acts beyond the CGI.
How?
What do you mean how?
Go ahead.
When he's
Go ahead. Go ahead, Colvin.
Go ahead, Carmel.
The reason why Davy Jones is so good is because when we see him, essentially, Will Turner takes up the mantle of Davy Jones after Davy Jones gets killed. And you don't remember when Jack Sparrow, essentially, he gives up his greed and he stabs a heart for Will?
That's not Davy Jones' story.
Yeah, remember when Davy Jones died and fell off the cliff?
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
top? You guys didn't feel bad when I was like, oh shit, you know what? The good guys fucking lost. When Davy Jones died, I was like, man,
Oh
that's
my
so
god,
bullshit.
you're a
He was-
joke.
And he saves people at sea. People think, oh, he's a bastard. He keeps saying he's a villain. He's not.
Eternity of
he's-
servitude.
Yeah, but he built a family. They loved Davy Jones. Are you kidding me? Bootstrap Bill was a moron and he was gonna die a moron. But with the hammerhead, and he gave Will a chance. He could have killed Will. He gave him a chance, and they played liar's dice. He's a great captain. I would love to be on his ship. Honestly, Caesar would have killed me because I'm a human. So honestly, he's partially racist. No, there's a time in his life where he's a fucking
Don't
racist.
attack
Yeah.
your closing statement. Yeah.
Davy Jones is an amazing character. He will stand the test of time. Honestly, John Osterman, what a fucking joke. I don't even know if he's CGI. And the ape, you could have picked a better monkey. I'm going Dr. Zaius. Davy Jones is better.
I'll let you have the final one because I've been.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so
thank
I'll go next. So did you hear what he just said? I don't know if John Osterman is CGI. That's just a testament on how fucking good he looks. He said
That's
that.
good,
He
that's
did say
good.
that, did he not?
That's good.
But when it really comes down to it, I think
It's a cheating.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing of this is Caesar is just a hero. Davy Jones is just a villain. Dr. Manhattan is a great character. When he sees that he finds out he gives people cancer, do you know how he responds? He says a live human body and a deceased human body have the same number of particles. Structurally, there is no difference. He literally doesn't give a fuck about human life until the end when he says, "Oh, I'm gonna take the blame for all of the deaths of millions of people that Ozymandias killed, who he didn't have the balls to say it was me." He's saying, "No, I'm gonna scapegoat Dr. Manhattan to save the world." And when Dr. Manhattan says, "I'll do it to save everyone," he has to even kill Rorschach, the one guy who essentially is the White Knight. He does everything to save everyone. And Dr. Manhattan's like, "If you're gonna do this and essentially cause World War III, I can't let you do it. I'm gonna have to kill you." When he does that, he gets so stricken with grief, saying, "This galaxy is so complicated. I can't deal with this. It's too much. I have to leave and let you guys. We created peace. I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna create my own life." He regains his humanity. He has an arc. You didn't have an arc. Caesar has an arc, but he's just a hero. He's a boring hero. Dr. Manhattan is the greatest CGI character to ever have been made.
I'm not even gonna talk about yours. You're just shitty.
What's the answer?
Your
amazing theme. You tell me you don't want to be on his shit.
This is
We're
his
talking about
closing.
CGI character, but you're talking about the music. Cool. I would say that to be the best CGI character, you have to use CGI the best. You know what I mean? I feel like Dr. Manhattan, he's just blue. At the end of the day, he's just fucking blue. Alright? Your CGI does nothing but make him blue and naked. My CGI turns this animal into a humanized character that we can all sympathize with. We all see him grow up from a little chimp to all the way to being this king of his own people. We see him make mistakes, and we see him go through this heartache of losing his family. We are able to feel for this character, and he does such a great job of being, yes, like you said, a hero, but he's more than that, all right? He's a father. He's a husband. He's a friend. He's more than just a hero. He is more than any of us can ever be. He is Caesar. He's King Caesar. All hail King Caesar.
When you say he's more than we can ever be, I mean, it's because he's an ape. You know, he's not
And he's
human.
really strong,
Yeah.
And we get to see, I haven't even brought up Kobe yet, but his battle with
Way better character.
I was gonna say, I will say
his
that.
battle with Kobe was really good, and then, what do you mean
Caesar,
people say
Caesar,
this? Okay, first off, I'm not even done
Caesar
yet.
does not wipe his ass. Caesar does not wipe his ass.
Let's have Owen finish his closing. Do you have another
See,
thing
I
to
just
say?
wanted to say one more thing about Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He's a really cool character. I'll give you that, but I don't like him. He's unlikable. All right, and you say he goes through these things. He acts better than we do. How do you think we feel as humans when we're talking about us being less than anything? He's doing that, and I'm sitting there watching the movie like, well, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. He thinks he's a god. I don't like this guy. I don't want to see him again. You see Caesar, you say this is a fucking hero. This guy is he's an animal.
Yeah,
he's awesome. He's badass. Andy Serkis did a great job portraying a fucking monkey. He did a great job portraying a monkey. The CGI helped him, benefited him. You see a monkey fly, you see him
Bill
laugh. and shit.
We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
All
We're
right.
done.
All right.
That was Bill Nye?
I thought so.
Different Bill Nye, not the science guy.
Bill
Oh,
Nye,
okay.
Bill Nye or something.
Oh, I know
yeah.
what Bill Nye you're talking about.
So yeah, that was
Good
a
round.
tough round. That was a good round,
It was.
right? I think all those characters, great CGI. Yeah. Starting with Dr. Manhattan, like you said, he's a god.
That means you're out.
We'll see.
What?
That means
No, just go.
Hey man.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a god, right? But then the way you talked about him, he learns stuff, right? He learns about humanity, but he's also kind of he doesn't regard humanity. He thinks he's above humanity, but then he learns that he's
He's wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong. I think that's very important. Seeing a god learn, I think that's really interesting. With Caesar, you're right. I think Andy Serkis, this is a very, very influential and very iconic performance. Just Andy Serkis's portrayal as Caesar, right? It's very, like, he is a monkey, but then you see the individual fur and hair on his face and like his body, everything. The CGI is amazing with Caesar. And the story, you kept reiterating the rise from chimp to king. That's a huge story arc. I don't know what you guys were saying, how he doesn't have a story. That's a huge story right there.
Thank you, Alvin.
Right? Yeah. His trilogy, like you said, his trilogy is very, like, one of the best trilogies of the 2010s. And with Davy Jones, you're right. He makes that pirate franchise. He makes those two movies.
Yes.
Right? He's very sympathetic and complex.
He is.
And then what you said about taking his heart out and putting it in the chest, that's a very good
That was very sad.
representation.
It is sad.
Right?
I
Yeah.
remember that.
And that's one of the first times as a kid, we all watched as a kid. That's one of the first times we see it up in the screen and we're like, oh dang, we kind of,
Sad.
it doesn't click on this. We're like, oh, that guy might be real. I thought he was real, that squid guy. So you're 22, but
He's 23 and he still thinks
he's 23.
that. He still thinks
yeah.
that. He still thinks
But yeah, I think these are all very good choices, but I do have to give it to Owen.
God damn, I got
Yeah.
stolen. That feels so mine. That was mine. That was so mine.
Owen-
In my opinion, that was
It was good. No, Dodger Hunt was pretty good. I thought Dodger Hunt was really
Yeah.
good. That was close. That was really close.
Owen had a really good argument, and
So it's
just
tied up.
it's tied up.
tied up,
Everyone has
nice.
one point on the board.
Yeah.
And our next question is
Your one and only point.
You think so?
We're gonna
Wait
make
till my Snyder cut.
we'll see. We'll see.
that.
Which is the next question? Our next question is what movie should get this Snyder cut? I
Can I
want to
take this?
start with Amir.
Okay, I'll start. Perfect. And I think when looking
We'll
at
have
this,
Owen go last on this.
Yes,
one.
Sure.
please.
well, no, because he'll essentially start attacking. Whatever. I'll start off when I was looking at this Snyder cut question. I think it's so integral. I'm looking at what is the utility. What is the purpose of a Snyder cut? It's not to have an extended director's cut where, oh, cool, we get to see 2 more hours, and it's like I still would watch the regular version. The way I see it, Snyder cut, essentially, it's improving an inferior film that was compromised due to limitations outside that movie. And I'm going with Dark Phoenix. I want to see the Kinberg cut. I want to see the 2-part movie that he was supposed to have. It was going to be essentially part 1 was setting up Phoenix, part 2 was setting up Dark Phoenix. So essentially we would fall in love with her, just for her to break our heart at the end. That would have been an amazing journey for the final X-Men movie. Because Dark Phoenix 1, there are issues with it, but there are nice moments in that movie. I see a Snyder cut treatment being the ultimate definitive version. I see other answers can possibly be just like, oh, this is Spider-Man 2.1, where, oh, it's cool, but I would never watch it over the original. So that's why I'm going to Dark Phoenix, because the Snyder Kinberg cut will infinitely improve the original. That's my answer.
So can I take this? Alvin, I have a teaching aid. May I use my teaching aid?
Yeah, of course.
So I need to ask you guys this. Owen was talking about the greatest trilogy of the 2010s. You want to know what the greatest trilogy is of all time? It's fucking Lord of the Rings. And you know Lord of the Rings has some of the longest fucking cuts of all time. And the movie I'm picking is, I want to give a Snyder cut to Logan. Logan, one of the most awesome X-Men movies of all time, Logan. So the way
That's a curse. I've noticed using props is a curse.
Yeah.
we'll see. So the way we're gonna do it is this. Logan is one of the best character studies of a Marvel movie of all time. But there's problems with the movie. Essentially, we don't know what Donald Pierce's motivation is other than getting the girl. We don't know what X-24's motivation is other than fighting the good guy. We don't know what Xander Rice's motivation is other than just killing mutants. There is no motivation to these characters. If we get a 4-hour cut of Logan, we can essentially kind of continue it off Wolverine. I want to see where he goes after Wolverine. Was he with Mariko? I don't know. I want to see where Mariko is. I want to see where, honestly, Victor Creed is, because the only thing good to come out of X-Men vs. Wolverine was Sabretooth. I want to see Liev Schreiber come back. I want to see Mariko. And I think with Logan, we're going to be able to get so much more development for so many of these awesome characters that when you watch it, it's like, oh, I wish there was more of Caliban, because Caliban gets taken out in 20 minutes in. I think with Logan, we're able to get an even better send-off to Wolverine. Essentially, this one movie can be he'll never need to come back again, because I want more out of Logan, and if we get more, I'll never need any more again.
I think you had a really good pick. It's cool, but I take your question as the way you said it. We're trying to fix a movie.
Yeah.
Logan's already perfect in my
Agreed.
opinion. It's a
Yeah.
really good movie.
Logan. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's not perfect.
Logan's a perfect movie.
It's not perfect.
Okay, you don't
What's your
think so?
pick?
I think so.
Which pick?
I'm gonna save a trilogy. I'm gonna save a trilogy by Snyder cutting the third one. The
Star
one that
Wars.
I would say tainted it a little bit.
Star Wars.
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 3: The Ring.
Oh my god.
Oh my
that's a terrible
God.
answer.
Oh my
What
God.
the fuck
I'm
was
gonna go
that?
with Spider-Man cut.
Baby, I'm gonna call it. Fuck yeah.
I'm going to fix this trilogy. Spider-Man 1, amazing. Spider-Man 2, amazing. Spider-Man 3, shit the fucking bed.
Oh my
Alright, it shit the bed, and I'm gonna save this trilogy. I'm gonna save this movie. We're gonna fix all the things wrong. We're gonna see more. We talked about like there's too many villains in this movie. How it's too much. We're gonna give them more time then. We're going to give them each more time. We're going to see more Sandman and him and his daughter and his relationship with his daughter with Spider-Man. We're going to see more between James Franco's banter with Peter Parker. We're going to see more scenes between the two where Peter's trying to tell James Franco. Like there's so much more that they have to... There's so much more that we could have seen. And I think this is going to save the trilogy and give us a fourth movie.
Can I start? I am so sorry you picked that.
Why?
I am so sorry.
He was gonna go on me.
You're a great guy. You're one of my best friends.
No.
That was a terrible fucking answer. You know why?
Not tell me why.
You're terrible fucking. That's a terrible fucking answer because the problem with Spider-Man 3 is just there's a lot. So essentially, what we need to do is cut down on them, cut down story arcs, and just focus on the main things. You want to blow it up even more. You want to make Amazing Spider-Man 2. You guys both fucked up on this answer. Both of you guys are awesome. Terrible, terrible, terrible fucking answers. Logan, like we said, an amazing movie. It's a Western. I don't want to see a 4-hour fucking Western. You know how boring that's going to be? You said
some Clint Eastwood has.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Clint Eastwood movies that are long.
Look, Logan is.
And it doesn't have to be 4 hours. He's hung up on this 4
Yeah.
hours.
So how long is your
He's
Snyder?
hung up on this 4 hours.
Well, the
You know
Snyder
what?
cut is 4 hours. What is the parameters?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna
I
make
would
my
say the
movie would be
parameters-
4 hours.
I would say the
4 hours.
parameters behind a Snyder cut fix the movie. We're
Okay,
gonna
so how
fix
much?
the film.
Give me a runtime.
I don't know. It's up to Sam Raimi.
No. Right now, I want to know your runtime.
My runtime?
Yeah, how long is the movie gonna be?
Through fixing all the problems, we're gonna cut that down. We're gonna bring this up. Probably just as long as your Dark Phoenix is.
Okay, so because essentially I'm making a 2-part movie. Spider-Man 3, there's not enough in it to be a 2-part movie. Honestly, I feel so bad for you. With you don't understand. You know there was supposed to be scrolls in the Dark Phoenix movie. There was these scrolls. Those aliens. We could have got so much more backstory.
Captain Marvel.
I'm curious, like fuck.
Captain Marvel took it first.
No, they did it and then had to switch it.
Yeah.
They filmed it first.
Yeah, exactly.
Dark Phoenix was filmed first, but the merger fucked that movie. You guys are missing such a big part of this. Is Justice League. No one ever is going to watch Justice League after the Snyder cut came out. With your Mangold cut, I'm still going to watch the regular one because honestly, Logan is a perfectly timed movie for 2:15.
You're hung up on the time.
No, the time is that is a valid point. What is X-24's motivation?
X-24 is just a metaphor for Logan. Essentially, his issues. You remember what you said? There's an amazing line where Laura has a nightmare.
Don't even use that against
Laura
me.
has a nightmare. Oh, I have a nightmare. People are hurting me. And you know what Wolverine's nightmare is? I'm hurting people. His nightmare manifested out of X-24. You don't need him to have an arc because he's a metaphor for Wolverine. They did such an amazing job on tying up Wolverine's story arc. Where that's why if Charles Xavier's come back in Doctor Strange, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed because Logan's an amazing movie. Spider-Man 3, people are now looking at that movie and it's on. I've been saying this for 10 fucking years. I love that movie.
It is a good movie.
15 years.
That
movie's amazing. With it's like Spider-Man 2.1. Spider-Man 2.1 has cool scenes. Alvin, you probably seen Spider-Man 2.1.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it is not as good as the original. Both of you guys are pitching inferior cuts. Dark Phoenix has so many issues that a 4-hour cut will only benefit the movie.
Can I tell you what a Snyder Cut can't do? A Snyder Cut can't fix bad casting.
Oh!
So no, yeah, no. Listen. I'm saying for Spider-Man 3, there's a problem with me, but you know who's also a big problem? Topher fucking Grace. He's not Venom. You know what's a big problem with your movie? Sansa's not Jean. Ty Sheridan's not Cyclops, and Cody Smith-McPhee is not Nightcrawler. Essentially, if you're getting a Snyder Cut, you can't fix a lot of these inherent shitty picks from the movie because they miscasted the movie. For Snyder Cut, you're only going off the idea of saying, oh, it has to be a shitty movie. I don't agree with that. I think some of the best movies of all time are Lord of the Rings, and some people are willing to sit 4 hours for a Lord of the Rings movie. For me, who is a die-hard Wolverine fan, there's a lot of questions I have after Logan. I'm like, maybe what did happen to the mutants after Charles killed them? That would be an awesome scene. I want to see that. I want to see where, how Donald Pierce got his arm. There's so much. There's just like off-screen mystery to the movie that's like, oh, you can only benefit by saying, oh, who is Donald Pierce? Who are the Ravengers? Who is Xander Rice? How did he get rid of the mutants? Why is the mutant count so low? If you do a 4-hour runtime of Logan, you're gonna just get so much more development. Spider-Man 3 is not a bad movie. It is honestly a misunderstood movie. Everything about Sandman is amazing. Yeah. Your movie, no one gives a shit. That's the biggest problem with the Snyder Cut.
No one gives you about Justice League.
No, people give a shit because it was like, oh, it was so bad that it got them angry because of the potential. No one thought Dark Phoenix was going to be this awesome movie.
Yeah,
I'm an X-Men fan, and I went.
It's coming right after Apocalypse, which already wasn't that good of a movie. No one's expecting anything. All right, so obviously it failed, and no one wants to see any more of that. We want to continue away from that. We're done. We're done with that series. We're done with that franchise.
I agree.
We're done with those characters.
So don't you think at least if. Because the Snyder Cut, you guys are fucking Snyderists, you fucking losers, are never getting your universe restored. And now you guys are fucking up the DCU, or we're not getting any movies.
So,
okay, what does that have to do with your shitty pick?
No, exactly. But with Dark Phoenix, essentially we're closing off the franchise. If we're getting into the MCU, fine, that's awesome. But we deserve, as X-Men fans who've been fans for 20 years, we deserve a justified, legit ending to the franchise.
Ending with actors that we've had for 3 years. Like,
essentially,
who cares?
a two-part movie is 2 full movies. But you're saying it was bad casting. I disagree. We didn't get enough time with them. with a 4-hour cut, we will see.
I think we
songs
got.
that
I think we
become
got
king.
plenty of time with them with Apocalypse,
They
and
were-
we
they weren't in
still
it.
didn't
There's
like
bad
them.
casting.
And we still didn't
They
like them.
were barely in it.
Look, you have the right idea of trying to fix a movie. I'm the one who's doing it, right?
No, you're not.
All right?
No.
Spider-Man 1 was amazing. Spider-Man 2 was amazing. A Snyder Cut's only going to make Spider-Man 3 amazing and finish off the trilogy the way it deserves to be with Sam Raimi's original
I
ideas.
agree. I think
didn't even want to make that movie.
And-
so a Raimi cut, you know what that's gonna fucking do? It's gonna fucking make him super fucking stressed because he didn't want to make that movie. You're gonna get.
Okay, I'm sorry
You're gonna bring Avi Arad.
we're stressing him back.
You're gonna bring.
I'm sorry that we're stressing him out.
You're bringing Avi Arad, and we're gonna get even more villains. You thought 3 was a lot? We're gonna get 6 more in your fucking cut.
So we're gonna get Bird. So we're gonna get the Sinister Six 4-hour cut with Tobey Maguire.
That sounds fucking
Who doesn't want?
terrible.
No, who doesn't want to see that?
No, 'cause you don't understand
You're saying
Spider-Man.
you're saying that. Oh, I don't understand Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't need to understand Spider-Man. All right, I understand the character enough to know that he was shit on that.
Fair.
Can I go? Can I go? Because
Yeah.
you seem a little passionate.
he's getting everything too many monologues. If I
I
can
know
say
he's
that.
getting way too many.
Yeah.
I would say that. Thank you for giving me that idea that we're gonna get the Sinister Six with Tobey Maguire in a 4-hour cut. What better way to flesh out all the characters and the way that they meet each other, their hatred towards Peter Parker, than to give him a 4-hour runtime. This is going to be an amazing movie to fix the franchise, to fix the trilogy, because we all love that trilogy. It's amazing. But you know what's going to make it even better? Fixing the last one. Fixing the third one.
You're literally Avi Arad, and you're not understanding the point of the Raimi movies. The Raimi movies are not
They're-
about having big, dumb action.
They're not.
It's not about a Sinister Six movie. It's about a story. It's a story of Peter Parker growing up and becoming
so we're not going to
responsible.
get 4 hours of action. We're going to get 4 hours of
You
Tobey
have
Maguire.
to
We're
build
going to see
Sinister
more.
Six.
I
Oh
think-
yeah, in 4 hours we will.
That's
You're
terrible.
giving me the runtime that I need. Thank you.
Judge.
It's a terrible. I'm sorry.
They're only negative. They haven't said anything negative about
No,
the
no,
movie other than
no.
it being good.
No.
I think we've heard enough of
Oh,
Spider-Man
because I
3
haven't-
and we've
because
heard
I
enough
haven't-
of
because-
Dark
Because
Phoenix.
this guy doesn't let me talk. First off.
Yeah.
Can I go on Logan then?
I want to hear more about Logan.
Logan, because I'm telling
Yeah.
you, the runtime can only benefit the movie. There is so much lore that we have not
I
run
don't
over.
think it's going to quite benefit it, because I think one of the really cool parts about Logan is that we didn't know what happened to the X-Men.
Yes.
It was the mystery
No.
behind it all.
Yes.
It's something
No.
that you didn't have to know.
It's unspoken.
It was an unspoken thing, exactly. The fact that Charles says like, "Oh, I remember what I did." We don't need to know what he did.
You can do it out. You can see it after, so you can actually see the X-Men die.
If you see it after, at that point, it becomes like a Spider-Man 2.1. You're just adding a couple of extra
No,
scenes,
I'm
and
s-
I'd rather see the
no.
original.
Yes.
No, I'm saying the idea we're fully fleshing out Mariko. Where's Mariko? Where's Yukio?
We don't need
that.
'Cause
I'm
it's
saying
just-
this.
we don't need
this
that.
don't. You, I
The
want.
movie is
I want.
perfect.
It's not.
It is
It's not.
Okay,
It's
you
not.
don't think so. You may not be a big Wolverine fan, but I
No,
am.
no, I'm saying-
the movie is perfect. We don't
No.
need any more.
So if it's perfect, why is Donald Pierce in the movie? What is he doing?
He's trying to get Wolverine.
He's not even trying to get Wolverine. He's trying to get fucking Laura.
Oh,
You don't
no,
know
no,
anything.
Laura.
Okay,
It sounds-
Xander Rice.
It
Xander Rice.
sounds like what Omid wants is a movie set between Wolverine and Logan.
Yeah,
kind of.
I'm bridging
That's
the
a-
gap between Wolverine and Logan and building more of the characters in Logan.
But you want a completely different movie, right?
No, I'm Snyder cutting it, so I'm essentially getting extended scenes.
That's not quite a Snyder cut. A Snyder cut.
It's more
Because
Snyder
you want-
than yours.
you-
Yours
No,
is
because
one-
with that logic,
You're
with
adding
that
7
logic,
new characters.
We're in
got-
the movie, exactly.
Is
I will attack that
It's
claim.
Are you going? Is it flashbacks or is it new scene? Like
There are obviously
Before.
gonna be new film scenes because
Yeah.
with Snyder cut we had cyborg scenes that weren't in the movie.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I do want Mariko to be in the movie. I do want Liev Schreiber to be in the movie. I want to see more about because no one. What was Xander Rice's purpose?
I think you're misunderstanding the major charm.
Don't
of,
find it on technicality. I'm saying
I'm not. No,
yeah.
the major charm of Logan is the idea that you don't need to have it be connected to this major franchise, the universe. You can go in and respect it as a pseudo-western, a neo-western drama with the son and his dad.
It
which
still
Charlie
is.
Taylor.
It still is a neo-western.
Yeah, but I
But
don't want to
you're-
see a 4-hour western.
Yeah, we don't need any
It's
more.
honestly, I think, a perfectly cut movie where there are no issues with it. The way I see,
The
Well,
more
issues-
you add,
if
the
you're-
more likely it is to fail.
If you
Yeah,
have
that's what you guys
issues,
are
what's
doing.
Xander Rice? Answer that.
We don't need Xander. It's not the story of Xander. It's the story of Logan.
His monologue.
Xander Rice is barely in the movie. Xander Rice, his purpose in the movie is to introduce X-24, so you have that amazing metaphor with Logan and X-24.
You don't need X-24 for the metaphor because Wolverine lived through those shitty moments when he says,
It's
"I
a
kill
physical
people."
manifestation.
I understand. I'm saying the idea is always when I have dreams of me hurting people. It's not about him talking about X-24. It's about him
Tie
and
this
his
into your
past.
closing?
Yeah. So I think with the you guys are gonna say, "Oh, I picked a perfect movie." No movie's perfect. Every movie can be benefited. For Dark Phoenix, no one gave a shit. What it comes down to is a Snyder cut is you want people who have questions about the movie. when Dark Phoenix came out, you know what it is? It was just an insult that was like, all right, this movie hurt me. I'm never gonna think about it again because the casting is so shitty. The story is so shitty. The Vuk is nothing about that movie was good. There is no redeeming factors. For Spider-Man 3, you picked a fucking shitty movie because that movie is so good. Amir was, I'm gonna say, our Lord and Savior saw it before anyone else could. He was the hero and saw how good that movie is. But we see with the scene with also with Ursula with Sandman. Oh man, Sandman is so good. It's like when he kills.
Don't you want more Sandman? Don't you want? I'm sorry.
No, because the thing is this: the biggest problem with the Snyder Cut is it can't fix bad casting. My movie is almost nearly perfect. It is almost perfect, but is not because we don't know enough about the writing of certain characters. We don't know anything about Donald Pierce. We don't know anything about Xander Rice. There is no motivation to X-24 other than being throw a monster at Wolverine, and you know what it is? It's just a black shirted Hugh Jackman. I want something better than that. We can learn more about Laura. We can learn more about his mother. Just a Snyder Cut, a 4-hour cut of Logan. It will answer so many questions that we have as a Wolverine fan. As a conclusion, I want to answer those questions. I think let's do Wolverine, the Mangold cut, and that's where we end Hugh Jackman, where he'll never have to be Wolverine again, and that's the best X-Men movie ever made.
You can go.
Okay. I would say that Wolverine is obviously a really good movie already. You are setting up your movie for failure if you add any more. All right. It was so well. It was such a great movie, and then the reason we left with these questions is that was on purpose. They did that. They put that in there intentionally because they want us to wonder and think about it. And it's this universe that we didn't get to interact with. It's perfectly fine that way. I love it that way. I don't think I want to see a 4-hour cut of that movie when it was already 2 hours and it was perfect movie. I don't think it needs any more. I don't think anyone wants any more from Dark Phoenix. Apocalypse was already a pretty shitty movie. Like you said, you can't fix casting. And at that point, I don't want any more. Like, I think we were done and checked out after Apocalypse. We don't need anything else after that. Yeah, you're making that face? Mm-hmm. I think with Spider-Man 3, you guys are saying you're like, I'm sorry that you found out that you liked the movie 2 minutes ago. I'm sorry that you have to do that. But I would say that Spider-Man 1 was a great film. Spider-Man 2 was a great film. And I think to perfectly end the trilogy, you're talking about ending it for Logan, we're going to end this for Tobey the right way. All right, we're going to end this for Tobey. We're going to get more scenes with the Sandman. All these beautiful scenes between him and James Franco, we're going to get even more of. We're going to see so much more that we wanted to see before, and we're going to fix the movie. You say it's a good movie, I disagree. And I think there's a lot of people who disagree. I think that we're divided right now, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix the divide. We're going to make it so that everyone loves this movie. It's the perfect end to Spider-Man. We're going to get to see more Tobey. We're going to get to see more of his Spider-Man. We're going to see more of fucking Sandman. We're going to get to see the Sinister Six and the way that it should be done. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. We're going to see it the way it should be done. We're going to get our 4-hour cut because we're going to get to see the characters fleshed out, developed, and we're going to see this amazing movie.
Yes. Again, great fighters, but I think you guys picked terrible fucking movies and you picked terrible fucking arguments. You know what the purpose of the Snyder Cut was? When we all got out of Justice League, all of us thought, wow, Ezra Miller is a fucking terrible Flash. He is literally just Tom Holland cracking shitty jokes. When we saw Ray Fisher, we thought, wow, he's such a boring cyborg. He is not cyborg. But when we said, booyah, that was the only scene we liked. But you know, after watching the Snyder Cut, all of us definitively agreed, wow, that is my Flash and that is my cyborg. That is what the purpose of my Dark Phoenix Kimber cut is we're going to give them a chance. You're saying bad casting. No, it's just they weren't given enough to do. They weren't given enough time. With a 4-hour cut of Dark Phoenix, it will only improve the movie. With Logan, again, the charm of it is that it's in its own universe. It is a 2-hour, 15-minute movie that is self-contained. Spider-Man, you don't understand the character. For Sam Raimi, he always said the heart of the movies were always Peter. You're wanting to make a Sinister Six movie? What the fuck are you doing? You're worse than Avi Arad. You're saying I want to fix the movie by adding more. Your argument is so inconsistent. He started saying, oh, there was just too much, and now you want to add more.
There's too much because now we're getting more time.
No, you're a fucking idiot. With Dark Phoenix, we will essentially be able to build Phoenix and see the rise and fall of the character, give her a chance. There's so much lore to the franchise, and it's gonna end the X-Men universe. We deserve a 4-hour cut where we're going to see Vuk and understand what they're doing, go into space more like they said, give more to the characters. I think the purpose of the Snyder Cut is to have a cut of a movie that is the definitive version. With both your movies, you will release a 4-hour cut. I will never watch it after the first time. The first one, the original cut is so much better. With Dark Phoenix, it is going to be the definitive version. It will be the Snyder Cut to the Justice League. No one will be talking about the bad Dark Phoenix. They will be talking about the good, amazing Kimber cut. That is my take.
Those are all really good arguments. I think, so let's start with Amir, Dark Phoenix. I think the biggest thing, you're right, about a Snyder Cut is improvement over the original, right? So I can't really say anything about Dark Phoenix because it's a forgettable movie. and I do think that what you have pitched will help, flesh out the story of the X-Men in this iteration. Plus, you haven't had a good Dark Phoenix adaptation yet, right? So we're moving on to Owen, Spider-Man 3, the Raimi cut. I think with Spider-Man 3, if you try to perfect it, then what's the point of bringing Tobey back in No Way Home then? Because they brought these Spider-Men back because people did know that, Spider-Man 3 it wasn't the best, Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't the best, let's redeem them. If you're redeeming Tobey in his own solo movie, you don't really need to, No Way Home doesn't really hold as much value, right? And then...
I'm sorry, he's bringing up No Way Home.
No, he's saying the reason for your argument.
Yeah. And I think...
But we didn't bring that up, though.
Yeah.
He's saying that's what he did.
Yeah. And then with Logan, the other two did bring up, it is a good movie without... you don't need this, you don't need to bloat it out, right? I think the cut that it already exists is a really good cut. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's one of the best superhero movies in the past, 10 years, 5 years? And I think that all of you guys had really good answers, but the argument that Amir made about Dark Phoenix took it over the edge. Yeah.
No one about No Way Home. I don't know why that was brought
I
up.
think
that probably wasn't the only thing.
no, it wasn't the only. I think you two have good movies that stand alone. I'm not interested in more, but for Dark Phoenix, I do want to see a good adaptation of the Dark Phoenix storyline, right?
You guys missed it. Like, you guys picked really good movies. I thought you were gonna go for Uprising.
You haven't seen Dark Phoenix, right?
I've seen Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you what happened in the movie.
Potential there. That's
Yeah.
potential. But
I
I say
disagree.
overall good round. And I told
Yeah.
you, this is a curse. Never bring this.
You guys had no good points to my movie. When I asked you guys questions, you guys had no way to respond.
I
To
did.
that.
We're talking about the Dark Wolverine.
The unknown is good. That's so lame.
How do you think I feel, man?
That's so your answer is so bad.
I think...
No, I
Your
think
answer is bad too.
I think-
Yours was terrible.
no.
Oh my
I think
God.
you guys got hung up on the runtime, specifically you. 4 hours. You kept reiterating 4 hours.
Yeah,
of the
I
Yeah.
got really hung up on it. How you can do that in 4 hours?
It's not
Okay.
you.
No,
No,
you.
No, I'm talking about like the 4-hour Raimi cut. I think.
Yeah, he's shitting on you.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up,
I should not have went
But
to Amir.
they're
I was
all-
gonna steal.
Definitely, he didn't deserve that, I'd say.
No, I did.
No, I
for
think
sure
Amir did.
You're gonna
There's
rewatch
no,
it.
there's
You're
no
gonna-
way. You can't fix
Oh.
bad casting with Snyder cut.
I know.
The
You
Snyder
got,
cut, you didn't like the Flash, but now you love
okay,
it.
but we got Apocalypse, and they were still shitting.
But
on
we
it.
can
Look at
move
the
on. Let's
movie.
move on.
But I said it was a great
Oh, I
round.
forgot
Okay.
that Sansa Stark.
Let
was
it
Apocalypse,
let us
right?
know what you guys think. Who should have gotten the point, right?
I said it's a great judgment right there.
Thanks.
Honestly, we have our best new judge.
All right, so the last round is probably the best round in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is cast the next James Bond and pitch their first movie. And I want to start with Owen.
Okay, so I think my choice is going to be Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill. I think he's a great actor. I think he was awesome in Mission Impossible, where he plays this spy, this backstabbing spy. So he's already done that. But I think that we're going to go back a little bit for my story. I think that we're going to go to the first Bond. We're going to go start off 007 and World War II.
Oh.
We're gonna see James Bond versus the Nazi spies. We're gonna see him go through Germany, different parts of Poland.
That's kinda cool.
We're gonna see him interact with different Nazis, and at the very end, we're gonna see him go through like one of the. I think his main antagonist is gonna be like one of Hitler's biggest scientists or something like that. I haven't really quite thought it out quite yet because I want it to be like this really cool plot where it's just him against the Nazis. You know what I mean? I think everyone loves a good Nazi. Killing the fucking Nazis, sir. I think James Bond's gonna do that very well. He's gonna kill a bunch of Nazis. We're gonna see it during World War II, so it's gonna be like a history piece. We're gonna see really cool Bond girls, more than one. I think it's gonna be a great film for Henry Cavill.
Cool pick.
So
It's a good pick.
Thank you.
when it came to this question, I was trying to think of how you want to keep the formula similar while adding something new. So the person I cast as my James Bond is Richard Madden, Icarus.
That's a good
Casting
one too.
Icarus
Yeah,
as
cool.
James Bond. And I think the way is, for anyone who's seen 007, the best thing about James Bond is his rogues gallery. So I want to bring back a character. Like we saw Christoph Waltz do Blofeld. I want to bring back Scaramanga, the man with the golden gun. You know who I'm casting as Scaramanga? Tony Leung. I want to go into Tony Leung as the man with the golden gun, raging demon. Yeah, that's fucking good. And we're gonna have Bond girls, and I think I don't want it to be super on the sexualizing women. So I want to have Richard Madden. He's gonna be the first by James Bond. We're gonna have it set in Shanghai. And literally, the man with the golden gun, you're going to have Tony Leung's golden gun literally have like a dragon because he's part of the Yakuza. It's going to be so fucking cool. we're gonna recast with Man with the Golden
You guys
Gun.
both had great picks. I like World War II. I like Strong. That is awesome. But I think I'm going a little like a left turn. I'm going a different direction with my 007. I think we're seeing it's very cool actors, but I want to kind of have cast an actor that is very charismatic. I'm going with Rahul Kohli as the new 007. I think he was a very funny actor. I think that is something that we haven't had a chance to see in the new 007 with Daniel Craig. He wasn't funny enough. Where with Rahul Kohli, he will be suave, he will be sexy, he'll also be funny, he'll do the action. But I know he's super passionate. He's an amazing British actor, which I think your actor is Scottish, and then he is also British, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of us are British actors. I think with Rahul Kohli, it'll essentially be a Bond for a new age. I want to give a different taste of 007. We've had enough white guys. I'm going with Rahul Kohli, and it's going to be essentially an homage to the old 007 movies. I was going to kind of treat it more like the Sean Connery era, where we're gonna have over the top villains. I didn't have a cast like you all think about mine. Really cool cast, but mine is gonna be essentially a very classic take on 007 with Rahul Kohli. Yeah.
So I want to say, I think Henry Cavill is a good pick, but it's the expected pick. I don't think we want that for
It's
a
expected
007.
because it's the best pick.
No, but we got him in Fallout. We got him in Mission Fallout.
Whichever one.
Huh?
Yeah, whichever one.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah, he was in Mission Fallout. He was awesome.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
loved
See,
the cocking of the
everyone
arms.
knows that's the best part of the movie. We're only going to get more of that.
But see, the only thing is, I don't think what we saw in that movie is he worked well because he wasn't like essentially the suave spy. It's like, oh, he's a Hulk. He's a fucking Hulk. He walks in, he fucks shit up. He threw someone through like a fucking mirror. You're not gonna see James Bond do that because James Bond is very like tidy. He's not like a walking tank. And I think Rahul Kohli is cool, but I don't think I'm gonna trust a franchise as big as 007 to a no-name like Rahul Kohli.
Well, he's not a
No name. He's not a no name.
I think
no name.
he's not. He's
he's in all of the Netflix movies, shows.
Yeah, I'm saying he's the TV show. He's an iZombie. He's an iZombie. Like he's a
good at
CW.
iZombie, yeah.
All things he's not on the same caliber as Henry Cavill or Richard Madden.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we're seeing with Richard Madden and with my movie is we are going the classic 007. We're having a big threat like Scaramanga come back, and it's going to be essentially this cat and mouse game like it was the first time, but we're doing it better. We're going to do it new. We're going to awesome locations, like I said, Shanghai. We're going to have the Yakuza or Tony Leung. We're going to get what I wanted from Shang-Chi, because my biggest problem with Shang-Chi was I thought Tony Leung was not in it enough. And for this one, we're going to really focus on it, because I wanted Tony Leung to be my 007, but he's a bit old. He's 60. So that's why I went with a younger Richard Madden. And I think Richard Madden, we're going to see new life into the 007 universe. And I think we're going to go different because Daniel Craig was a bit more angry. He was more of that like vengeful. And I think for Richard Madden, we're going to see almost like a softer James Bond, more suave. He's really good with his words. And when he has to kill someone, he'll kill someone. And I think that's awesome. That's what I'm going to love about Richard Madden.
I think it's really cool, but I think you guys are kind of forgetting the aspect of like you had to essentially make a Bond that is very different than Daniel Craig. Every new iteration of Bond has to essentially make their own stride. And mine essentially, I'm treating it a little more comedic. Maybe it'll have a little bit like Austin Powers vibes. And Alvin, if you maybe we can enact a scene. Can you just say it to me like, oh, who are you? Just say it to me.
Oh, who are you?
Bashir. I am Gerard Bashir. We're changing him. He's going full. We're going. No, we're gonna make it culturally appropriate. We're gonna actually make him a character.
You said it was a comedy, but you're calling him Bashir, so it seems like you're making. I understand. No, I'm saying it sounds like you're saying, oh, it's a comedy, so we're not taking him seriously.
No, it's.
You're pitching. Can I tell you what you're pitching us? You're probably pitching us fucking Johnny English meets Apu. You're giving us racist stereotypes.
I didn't say that.
Bashir. My name is Gerard Bashir.
Please, at the end of the day, you want something new from a James Bond, right?
Yeah,
you. Can I speak?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, so you're going for a comedy. That's cool, but I don't think that's not gonna last. That's gonna be a one cool James Bond film, but it's not. It's gonna get old over time. I think we're looking for a James Bond that can keep the franchise going and keep it going because he's gonna be Bond for a while. Yours is cool, but you're essentially pitching us the same exact thing that Daniel Craig did. You're just saying he's more suave. That's
no, I'm saying he's soft spoken. He's also bi. We're going to Shanghai.
Okay, so you're giving us just a more suave bi James Bond. I'm giving us an entire new time era of James Bond. We're going to World War II. We're going to see James Bond versus the Nazis. We're going to see James Bond versus the top scientists for Hitler. We're going to see him versus these really cool characters. We're going to have. You're pitching us like this. You're giving us this older character, right?
Yeah.
You're giving us this
Richard Madden's young.
No, I'm saying like an old Bond villain.
Yeah.
You're giving us that. That's gonna wear out over time if you keep reusing villains. I'm gonna go for new villains every single film, and then every single time that he's with each new iteration, we're going through different parts of history. Because what was after World War II? The Cold War. We're gonna see James Bond in the Cold War.
Does he age?
He ages still, yeah.
So I mean, that's like a big time gap.
No, I'm not worried about that, but I think you're missing a big part of 007. You need essentially the casino life. You need him drinking martinis. You see him living that nightlife. Like,
You're telling me
who's he going to sleep with in World War II? Like,
there was nightlife.
He's in trenches.
There was nightlife back then. Right? We're going to see
you're in trench warfare.
We're going to see a different time of that. We're going to see different aspects of that. It's not going to look the way you want to with casinos, obviously. But you think the gambling started
You're
in
mentioning like
1960?
the Kingsman. I think
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It's
It's
too hard to
similar.
return. With 007, it's a huge franchise. We just had 25 movies in. You have to respect the franchise. You have to expect the conventions that come with the character. With Rahul Cooley, we're essentially going to see him. Like, it would be like Casino Royale. We're going to essentially see him in that life. We'll probably play a card game. We'll find a way to essentially make him work. It's going to be like an endgame kind of thing where it's like all of the best spies fighting each other. That's what I kind of want to do. Yes, there's going to be comedy in there. But it's going to be just like Sean Connery, Roger Moore. Those are all funny movies.
I think
with yours, it's cool, but like you said, it's yeah, Tony Leung is cool and everything. But like you're going to overshadow James Bond with like Scaramanga.
Let that happen. I think Christopher Lee overshadows Roger Moore. I think essentially James Bond is almost the viewer, and you're seeing the spectacle of the life of a villain. We're gonna see his penthouse. We're gonna see all his mafia. We're gonna literally get a mafia. Tony Leung. We didn't get that in Shang-Chi because they were just too scared to focus on. I guess because they wanted to make him a hero at the end. He's gonna be a villain. He's gonna die a villain. We're gonna see all the awesome villain conventions. Other than we're not gonna have him be like, oh, the laser. He's gonna monologue. We're gonna have some awesome monologues from Tony Leung. We're gonna have and it's gonna end off with like that essentially that 1v1 handgun v handgun sniper fight. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. I think yours. I think you pitched something fun and new.
Let me give you a story. So like I said, we're gonna name him Gerard Bashir, and that's not a joke. But essentially, what I wanted to do is like we're gonna see Rahul Cooley essentially best the previous MI6 best agent. It's gonna be kind of like GoldenEye, where essentially he has a former agent, but essentially I wanted to be like, oh, it's gonna be like a white guy, and he's gonna essentially be the bad guy, right? But I want to see Rahul Cooley. Essentially, he's gonna be suave. He's gonna be sexy. And he's gonna essentially have a battle of wits with the other best agent in England. It's gonna be an awesome fight. Like we're going to see Le Chef. They're going to do all of the conventions we expect from a 007 movie, but I think he has to be witty, he has to be likable. Henry Cavill is cool, but I don't see him being charismatic. I just see him being a hulking brute. And in your world, I don't see there being the fun aspect of 007.
Tie this into your closing.
Right, we're going to tie it into closing. I think he has too many commitments. He's Superman, he's Witcher, and I think what he does, Henry Cavill.
Man, that's just a weird argument.
Yeah, essentially he has too many commitments where I don't see 007 being in his wheelhouse. He's kind of the more stoic character like The Witcher. He's not charismatic and witty enough. Yours is a good pick, but I think it's mainly held by the cool villain, and it's the nostalgia. You're kind of recycling a movie.
That's the first one. That's all you need. Because Daniel Craig did it with Casino Royale.
That's true. But with Rahul Cooley, essentially, we're gonna fuck you. We're gonna essentially have like Odd Job. We're gonna go through the greatest hits of all of the villains. But I think you need a leading man, someone that has a fan base. I don't see in 2022. We don't want a white Bond. You know, everyone's saying we want Idris Elba. We want a female Bond. I think getting like an Indian American actor as 007 would be huge strides. Because we don't get, you're saying we want more representation. You guys are just doing white guys.
I just had my villains is Chinese.
Yeah, but that's the villain. That's a great look. That's a great look. The villain's Asian. I think I want to do it where Rahul Cooley can be the face. Because I really wanted to be Mr. Fantastic, but that's never gonna happen because everyone wants John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. So I want to give him the next best thing. Give him his own franchise. He is British. He loves Star Wars. He's a big nerd. He loves 007. He'll know all of the funny lines. He'll be a great 007. He's witty and he's funny, and I don't see you guys really living up to 007.
Well, you want to go? Who's doing closing first?
Owen can go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think yours is cool, but you're pitching us a comedy movie, and you're kind of banking off of the diversity, which is cool, but don't use that as like your talking point. You know, have more to James Bond than his skin color.
I agree.
He's still James Bond at the end of the day, so give us more than that.
Right.
He knows nothing about him.
You talk about how he did the same thing in Casino Royale, so at the end of the day, we're still gonna get the same series, the same franchise of James Bond, where it's just this new guy, new story, new villains. It's cool, but it's the same thing we got with Daniel Craig, just a different actor. I'm giving us a different time period. I'm giving us different environments, different areas. We're going to get the casino life, but we're going to get the casino life of the 1940s, the 1950s. We're going to go to the 1960s. We're going to get all these different time periods, different countries in Europe, the way it was before. We're going to see him during the war. We're going to see him talk to different world leaders. We'll see him interact with Winston Churchill and different people like that. We're going to see him be one of the first agents of MI6?
Yeah.
MI6, yeah, so I was thinking. The first agents of MI6, and he is the very first Bond. At the very end, we understand that he is the building point of what we get for the rest of the Bond franchise. Though everyone who gets inherited that 007 tagline, he is the very first. We're going to see him go through different periods of time, and we're going to see different cool. We always talk about we've heard like rumors of like the different technology the Nazis were developing during World War II. We're going to see that technology. We're going to see MI6's version of that technology. We're going to see really cool different designs because as gadgets, we're going to see the way gadgets would have been created in the 1940s. We obviously things now that are created are like very futuristic, but we're going to see the way that they thought and the way that they perceived technology in the future in the 1940s, and it's going to be really cool for James Bond. We're going to put him in a new place. You talk about how Henry Cavill is very hulking and brooding. No, he's not. I think if you've seen him in interviews, you know he's a very funny guy. He's very charismatic. He hasn't been given the right script, and James Bond, he's been given the right script. And this is a really cool, suave, big hulking. He can still be hulking and suave, badass dude. And that's the next franchise. And quit talking about it. He's got too much on his plate.
So I want to respond to what Owen said. Owen said the idea is mine is derivative. You're doing a World War II movie. We have had so many World War II movies. We literally had the first Wonder Woman is World War I with the Nazis, with more Germans. I think what I'm giving is at least something new. We're going to a different. I think I'm the only one out of all of us that essentially understood the question, and I gave us a Bond, and I'm pitching the movie. You just gave us essentially Raul. You just gave us a 007, and you gave us a time frame, but you're not going to get a franchise out of it because if you're going 10-year time gaps, you know what you're doing? You're doing Apocalypse / Dark Phoenix, where you get what's it called? Where you can't get a franchise out of this. For mine, I'm giving us I'm giving us a young, awesome 007, and I'm giving us an awesome villain because that's how you want to start a franchise. If you want fans to come, you have to give them a little bit of nostalgia. That's how you do. That's what he did Casino Royale. You do an old movie, you reboot it, you make it different. We're going to Shanghai, like I said. We're gonna have the man with the golden gun. He's gonna have a Yakuza ties. We're gonna literally see the dragon on his golden gun. It's gonna be awesome. And I think Amir, you really did a poor miscast. I think miscast. You literally, I think, or maybe your pitch was off. I think doing a comedy for 007 movie. Can I give you a scene with Raul Cooley? Okay. He's gonna be chasing someone down a rooftop. When he jumps, he's gonna fucking trip. He's gonna hurt his knee, and he's gonna make a joke out of it. Like, have you seen his Twitter? He's a jokester.
He's hilarious.
He's a jokester. So if you're not letting him do his full comedic chops, you're doing a disservice to what he can do. I don't think we can see him. What?
He wouldn't do slapstick. He doesn't do slapstick on Twitter.
He makes himself look ugly. He does. He makes himself look ugly. He makes him look self-bald.
He's sexy. He's honestly.
That is my closing.
Yeah, it's closing.
Yeah.
We can talk also about it. I know.
So I think what it comes.
It's the same thing.
So what it comes down to is this. I understood the question. You didn't. You gave us an awesome pick, but it's expected. I want to see Richard Manning because
you're giving us James Bond again, the same exact thing.
No, I'm not. I told you we're going with the first buy. We're going the first buy James Bond. We're gonna have.
Don't big off of that.
Isn't this my closing, Alvin? This is my closing. Tell him to shut the fuck up.
This is your closing, guys. Let's
shut the fuck up. So what we're doing is this. So I gave us a story. I gave us a villain. We had to use nostalgia to reboot this franchise, and I think. I don't think you guys understood the question. Tony Leung is one of the best actors out there. We saw in Shang-Chi. We're gonna give him way more time, and we're gonna keep going with it. And I think Richard Madden is the future of James Bond.
That was a really good round. I think all of you guys had really good ideas. Amir, Raul Cooley. I think he's a great actor. He's a very, very sleeper pick. I would not have expected Raul Cooley, which I appreciate. I think that was a really, really interesting take on the character, but having it but introducing a comedic aspect, I don't know if that really is the character of Bond. Maybe I'm just used to the Daniel Craig Bond.
That's true.
It would be interesting to see, lighthearted side of Bond,
Yeah.
right? A campier side maybe.
I really hope he gets a big cat. I think he deserves.
Yeah,
a big
I think so
cat.
too. He's very
He's really
talented.
awesome.
I hope so.
For Henry Cavill, I really like that pick. I do think seeing a different Bond than Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, being a bigger guy, a tank, would lend to great scenes, great story, right? Having it set in World War II, you've never seen that before in Bond.
That's cool.
But I will say, it did sound similar to Kingsman, but it will be better than Kingsman probably,
Thank you.
right?
I didn't see that in Kingsman.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't
It's
see
on
it either.
HBO. Check it out.
Yeah, Bond versus Nazis sounds great.
And Hulu, check it out on Hulu if you
Is
have
it on
it.
Hulu really?
It's on
I'm
Hulu.
sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't see it though.
Yeah.
And then
Bond
for
kills terrorists. I already said that. You're killing Nazis. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm killing terrorists, man.
Yeah.
You know how bad it's gonna be when he's taking out fucking Nazis? Fuck.
that's
Fuck
really cool.
Nazis.
And then Omid, Richard Madden, Man with a Golden Gun, Tony Leung. Having a bi James Bond, I think, representation does matter with Amir that he touched upon. And I just think that the story, you said it in one place with Shanghai, which, obviously Bond kind of traverses the globe, but I think it was a good setting, cat and mouse game. That's why I think Richard Madden would be a good Bond. Yeah.
I don't know if I like the Bond.
Oh, I like his Bond.
I thought the Tony
He's
was
giving us
on
the
this.
same
I think-
thing.
That was good casting for Tony.
Yeah.
I was
think-
trying to get him to do it with 60-year-old people were going to attack me. I was like, how old was Roger Moore when he started? He was
I don't know if I
50.
agree
I
with
think
Richard
I think
Madden.
Omid's pitch was more thought out. I
Nice.
think maybe he had a better intriguing story, I suppose.
Nice. Thank you. We all
Yeah.
did good. We all did really good.
That was a good round. Good job,
We
guys.
all did really
yeah,
good.
yeah. My favorite round so
The
far.
Nazis.
All of our picks for every round I feel like was all super
Yeah.
close. That was really
But
good.
it was also good questions.
We need-
So.
I think-
Alan gave us
Yeah.
some really good questions. He gave us
Yeah.
some really ones that allow us to go super creative. That's with
Yeah.
the blue.
Mhm.
It's good round.
I had
So
some
now-
joke questions. Joke answers. I didn't try for the first game.
Those are your best ones, though.
They were funny. No, they
Who
were
was
funny.
funny?
I'm
Muppets.
saying I didn't get big
Oh.
answers for that.
Yeah,
Straight.
yeah.
Now we
They're
move on
good.
to sudden death, right? So, Owen, do you want to come
Yeah.
this one? Yeah.
You can see here.
Well, he wants me to look at the question. That's why.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
shoot this one?
quick. So we're just gonna
I'll be
cut.
back.
Quick cut, right?
Oh, you'll just be.
I'll be back. 2 seconds.
All right. 3 questions, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I got 3 questions ready.
I think we can do for the next one.
What do you think
do
of
it
these 3?
5 and then just shorter rounds.
Sure.
If you have any other questions, you can type it.
Tony was good. That was a good call.
Do that.
Yeah, I wanted to make him Bond. I was like, oh, Roger
Actually,
Moore
that's
was
a good
50, but
Okay.
someone would have used that against me
You can start
age.
with that one,
Okay,
I
just
like
the
his
order.
Bond
yeah.
more,
All those are good.
but I thought you guys
Awesome.
the pitch. Like that was one thing I didn't even think of. I
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking of the movie, but I liked his Bond more. But I thought your movie was good.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Here's
Ready
my
for sudden death?
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So Amir and Omid moved on. Twins, brothers, fighting.
Twins
Right,
battle.
we wanted to
twins.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So the first question is, which movie adapted the better Dark Phoenix story, X3 or Dark
X3.
Phoenix?
Phoenix.
X3.
Okay.
Oh.
So we are starting
Yeah,
with
I love this question. Good question.
we're starting with Omid. Go. 30 seconds. You start now.
Okay, so I think with X-Men 3 is an awesome conclusion to the trilogy. It doesn't disrespect anything. The only problem, it has writing problems, but as a movie itself is really good. I think we have an awesome death with Patrick Stewart. We see amazing performance from Hugh Jackman and Famke Jensen. When you see Wolverine kill her, you literally see his heart break, and you see
10 seconds.
what you see it in Wolverine. You see the ramifications of it. He goes a recluse. X-Men 3 is an awesome trilogy. Dark Phoenix sucks.
Okay.
Okay.
Amir.
So I guess start. Right?
Yeah, you can start.
And I'm just talking about why Dark Phoenix is good.
Dark Phoenix is the better Dark Phoenix
The
story.
reason why Dark Phoenix is the better one because it's not adapting multiple storylines. We had The Cure, we had all of that. With Dark Phoenix, we get to see essentially the love between Cyclops and Jean. It wasn't enough of it, but it was really good. We got to see the family fall apart after she murders Mystique. Yeah, focus on Mystique, but honestly, she was such a big part of the franchise. She honestly, when she died, that was so tragic. We get to see Jean become more than just an object. She was a person
10
with
seconds.
actual agency. She murdered her parents. That was so tragic. We essentially see this amazing rivalry that she had with Charles, where Charles essentially screwed her over as a child, and she had all this built-up anger. It's way more tragic.
Okay.
He was talking about essentially it adapting multiple stories with Dark Phoenix. We see it's not even faithful to the comics. Jean killing Mystique, and that gets Beast and Magneto wanting to kill her. What we see with X-Men 3 is it at least it's adapting it into the trilogy of the Singerverse. Europe tried so much to do with. We have Vuk. We have tree monsters. It was a shitty piece of shit fucking
10
movie.
seconds. 10 seconds.
Oh, 10 more seconds. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
about
So
that.
we see with Sansa. Sansa was miscast. He said we got a love story between Cyclops and Jean, maybe for 2 fucking seconds.
The issue with Last Stand treated Phoenix like an object. She was not a character. Wolverine is searching for her. Magneto is searching for her. Phoenix is not even a character. It's literally Magneto again. They're doing a Civil War movie. It's a Civil War movie, but it's really Dark Phoenix. That made no sense. But Dark Phoenix, really seeing her be a character, you feel sad for her. She is essentially schizophrenic. She's bipolar. You get to see the manifestation with Benke Jensen. She's barely in the movie. She barely talks. And she just wears a red trench coat and she gets stabbed. She's not even in the movie. You get to see them go to space in Dark Phoenix. Here's just a Civil War movie.
20 seconds. Whenever you're ready.
X-Men 3 has a lot to say. It has a lot of stories, but the cure story on that is essentially a type of curing your illness of a mutant. That is not an illness. But we see with Dark Phoenix, yes, you have awesome Charles' death. With Dark Phoenix, it's just so shitty that we are disappointed. When you watch X3, you're not disappointed. You get a satisfying conclusion to a trilogy. When you see Dark Phoenix, like, wow, they just shut the bed for one of the greatest Marvel franchises.
20 seconds whenever you're ready.
You said they were not disappointed with last thing. Yes, you were. They killed Cyclops in the first 5 minutes in a Dark Phoenix story. They killed Charles in 30 minutes. He was barely in it. It is not an X-Men story. They didn't even know what they were doing. With Dark Phoenix, we get to see the family. We get to
10
see.
seconds.
This is the best we've ever seen Jane McAvoy as Professor X. We've seen Cyclops and Jean together. We get to see the family break apart and come back together. It is a true family story. It's a drama. Here's a shitty action movie that ruined the franchise.
All right, that was a good sudden death round. Owen, what do you think?
That was really good. I like this perspective of getting to pick, like looking at your arguments.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like the only bad things you said about Dark Phoenix were tree monsters and Valk, and that there wasn't a lot of time to like between her and Cyclops. You made a lot of good points about why X3 was shitty. And I think that I haven't even seen Dark Phoenix, but I am going to lean towards Amir on this one.
That's interesting because I'm leaning more towards Omid actually because I think his
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good job.
So what would be your feedback on that?
I think just I don't know if it's like nostalgia or whatever, but I just think your arguments were better than Amir when you're talking about like it brings in other things.
Trilogy.
Yeah, it ties into the vision that Bryan Singer had.
Yeah,
right?
nice. That was a good round. That was a good round. That was a tough one.
Yeah. All right, this next one.
Okay.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
What did you say?
I said Trek.
I said Trek too.
I
I
think
said Star
you said
Trek.
it first.
Okay.
I'm pretty.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I think you said it first.
Okay.
So
It's movies only.
yeah, it's the series of Star Wars or Star Trek,
So you can talk about the show.
or just the franchise. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you can talk about the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 30, 20, and 20, right?
30, 30, 20, right?
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's
Okay.
good too.
Whatever.
Sure.
You're good.
Yeah. Star Trek essentially invented the idea of a space genre. It was the first to ever do it. It gave us progressive thoughts before they were even a thing. We see biracial. We see Uhura. We see Sulu. We see so many multiracial people on the show with Star Trek. It makes us question reality. It makes us question, oh, are we as a society, are we going to be better in the future? It tells us how to live. I think with Star Wars is just a basic action movie. With Star Trek, it makes you think. We have some of the awesome franchises that created the first fandom, Trekkies.
Yes, Star Trek is great on representation. I love that, but that is not the question. We're saying best franchise. Star Wars influenced movie making to this day because of George Lucas. We essentially got franchise. We got a whole universe with the hero's journey with Luke. You don't even have a character the franchise isn't there. Kirk is cool, not equal to Luke. We have more tragic characters. We have Darth Vader. We have Yoda. We have Obi-Wan. All these characters that are essentially it's like an opera. You gotta have characters that we learn more about. Star Trek is more about the morals, not about the characters. Star Wars, they care about telling good stories.
All right.
Don't talk about bad characters when we have Kirk, we have Picard, and we have Janeway. We have some of the most developed characters in all of TV. But with Star Wars we have very disappointing movies. With Star Trek, we don't have that. The Star Wars fan base is so divided on what they like: sequel, prequel, or the originals. Star Trek is all they all agree the shows are amazing. Everyone has their favorite captain, but no one hates on it as much as people hate Star Wars. Star Wars is just a mixed bag of action that there's too many fans that no one can agree on one vision.
I was arguing about the show. Okay. We have one of the greatest movies ever made. We have Empire. We have stories that essentially the hero loses. We have amazing soundtrack through John Williams. Star Wars is in our culture. Star Trek isn't. Yes, we gotta have cool messages. But honestly, now we're seeing that stories are catching up to Trek, where Trek only had representation. We get to see Anakin, who falls to the dark side. He becomes this tragic hero and redeems himself after saving the Empire. We get to see Luke, who's in unrelenting hope, who becomes this amazing, complex character in Last Jedi. We get to see that he is not a hero. everyone in Star Trek is about this uplifting hope that is not a real
You're
character.
done. No.
20 seconds.
Yeah. Well, you know what Star Wars has? Star Wars has awesome Luke and Anakin, but it also has Rey and Kylo Ren. One of the worst trilogies of all time. Star Trek, they're consistent. We're getting Star Trek Picard. People are loving Star Trek Picard. We have Star Trek Prodigy, which is now bringing in new, younger Star Trek fans. You can't even talk about the shows because you don't even know the shows. What we're seeing with Star Trek is it's multimedia. It gets everyone.
There's a reason why we're seeing so many Star Wars shows come out because they're trying to play catch up to Star Wars. Star Wars is king, it will always be king. We have Mandalorian, we have Last Jedi, we have the Clone Wars 3D, we have Bad Batch. Star Wars is on the top and it'll stay on the top. Your characters are not on the same level. It's all about messages. Yes, it's good, but the characters aren't there.
Who would you?
It's a hard round.
That one's really close. That one's closer than I thought it'd be. I think Omid kind of focused a little bit on the fan base too, which I don't know if I think that's like a good argument. I don't know. This was close. I think I'd have to give it to Amir.
It was a hard round for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Omid's take on Star Trek. He touched upon like how it was progressive before everything else, and the fandoms, and how it still has this lasting power. But I do think Amir brought up really good points about how influential Star Wars is, and
the
people try to
music.
copy Star Wars now. That's why I think I gotta give the points.
That was a good round. That was a good
It was
round.
hard. I was scratching at straws. I thought Star Trek was so much better. I was like, fuck. I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
But that was a good round. Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a doozy.
Is
All right.
this based on speed?
You gotta answer first though.
Yeah, you just gotta answer first.
Is it like this or that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's this or that.
Shit.
All right. Better multiverse movie: Into the Spider-Verse or No Way Home?
Spider-Verse.
I can't tell.
Flip a coin?
Yeah, that one's really close. I'd say I think that was like at the exact same time.
Yeah,
I'm right here and I couldn't tell. So
I'll flip a coin right now.
oh nice. You got
I'll be
I'll be
heads.
heads.
I'll be tails.
Okay. All right.
I don't care the other one.
Same.
It's heads.
So Amir's.
I saw in Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess I can start first since I
Yeah.
got my pick.
Yeah.
Get the timing. Whenever you're ready.
Spider-Verse is the better multiverse story because we get to see essentially Spider-Man being multiple people, not just Peter Parker, not just being a straight white guy. We get to see anyone is behind the mask. We are all Spider-Man. That is an amazing message. And we get to see essentially Spider-Verse walks that No Way Home could have two Spider-Man. Are you kidding me? That's it. Spider-Verse, we get to see Miles Morales, the first one we've ever seen. We get to see a Peter Parker who essentially is not as heroic as we think he is. He is a tragic, flawed character. We get to see them tell stories that means a lot more to a lot of people because it is much more inclusive.
The movie isn't what a better movie. What's a better multiverse movie? So when you think of multiverse, you want to bring people of multiple generations. You have Spider-Man, Sam Raimi, you have Webb, and you have Tom Holland. These are fans of three different Spider-Man of three different age groups. And with Spider-Man No Way Home, we saw something that we would never thought we'd ever see. We saw Spider-Man come back after 13 years of being in Spider-Man 3. That movie they fixed heroes. They fixed Andrew Garfield. They fixed Tom Holland. This movie is a story of redemption. They fixed everything that came before, and they made it even better for everyone. Spider-Verse was a fun cartoon, but it's nothing more than that. Spider-Verse is so much better.
Your movie relies on nostalgia. It's not good storytelling. It's relying on movies and characters that they've done years ago. Spider-Verse essentially had to build it from the ground up. We've seen Spider-Gwen for the first time. We saw Miles Morales for the first time. We saw an Asian Spider-Man. That is a much more important story. No Way Home is so much dirtier when you start thinking of the lore and thinking of logic. When you think of logic, the movie makes no fucking sense. They ruin the franchise when they kill characters, or they save characters that should have died. It makes no sense with the morality. It is not a good movie. Spider-Verse is way better.
I'm not arguing which is the better movie. We're seeing with Spider-Verse, with the Into the Spider-Verse, they're just copying the Spider-Man Miles Morales story, and they're just doing that. With No Way Home, they actually made their own story, and they integrated everyone's arcs from the trilogy, and they gave everyone actual complete arcs. With yours, we only see, I guess, a little bit of Miles Morales. We get nothing of John Mulaney. We get nothing of the Agent Spider-Man. We get nothing of Noir. They're all just there for tokens. They're just there for tokens.
20 seconds, right?
20 seconds.
Okay. Spider-Verse will last the test of time because it is a story for all of us. No Way Home is really cool, but it's honestly a popcorn movie. It's not a movie with great storytelling. It's a movie about great moments for cheering in a theater. Honestly, when we go back on getting on Blu-ray, we're probably going forward to the end. Spider-Verse is an amazing story of Miles Morales. We get to see him become the hero. And he had his Uncle Ben, he had Uncle Aaron. There are way more tragic characters.
When you think of these movies, you want to think of an event. No Way Home is an event. People talk about how they want to give themselves amnesia to get that first experience again. Spider-Verse did not have that. Spider-Verse is a strong story about, yes, anyone can be the mask, but when you think of a multiverse movie, you want to think about a lifetime experience. Where were you when you saw No Way Home? For me, I was a Raimi fan. For you, you were an Andrew Garfield fan, and it brought everyone together. Spider-Man No Way Home is the greatest Spider-Man movie.
Just so we have it on the record. Fuck no.
That was good. Owen, what do you think?
It was a tough round.
That one was tough. I feel bad for Omid because I think he got dealt the harder hand. You're talking about how I think at first you said like it doesn't matter what's the better movie because you're talking about the multiversal, and at the very end you also said that No Way Home was also the better movie. But for Amir, I feel like you couldn't really say. Oh, this is hard.
This is a hard one.
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm sorry, I mean, I'd have to give it to Amir because I feel like he gave a lot of points as to why yours wasn't that good, and I don't think I heard too many points as to why his wasn't as good because you said that there was like you just couldn't put in token characters.
A good line he had was the multi-generational one.
That one was cool. That I think at that point you guys are arguing like what you're.
Yeah, I was arguing more as what the movie meant rather than the movie itself because Spider-Verse is probably a better movie, but as a multiverse. Yeah.
You give yourself amnesia to watch it again, which I would probably want to do.
Yeah.
I hate to choose them 3 times in a row, but I have to go with Amir again.
This is hard. I think
that was good.
This was a tough question.
Yeah.
That was a good line.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, Alvin.
Damn, this is hard. Why did I make myself write this question? I think I gotta give it to Amir.
That's real fine questions. That was good.
Well, you had a better argument. I thought I was grasping at straws at the end. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really close.
I was rooting for you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a good round.
That was a good round. But yeah, congratulations, Amir.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good fight. That was a good match.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah,
really
that
funny
was good.
moments for sure.
That was good.
That was a good round. It got dirty. Sometimes we were arguing over each other, but it was a good panel. I think we did really
I
good.
think someone got heated a little bit during a couple of questions, huh?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. It was
But
fun.
It was fun. I like this one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you want to see next in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. And yeah, I'm Alvin.
It's Amir.
Owen.
And Omid. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.